You are gazing into the eye of the storm, Joe Debley Stadium. Tonight's contest host on a cool, crisp fall night right smack dab in the middle of November and ripe for an old school high school football rivalry showdown between the 2-7 Pitman Pride and the 7-2 Turlock Bulldogs. It is the 16th Harvest Bowl. Hello to you wherever you may be, wherever you may go. Keith Joganas on the call tonight from Joe Debley Stadium here in Modesto, California, the site Turlock High School, as both Pitman and Turlock will add another chapter to their illustrious rivalry storybook. Keith Joganas alongside my co-host Dustin Pageant for tonight. D-Page, this is a game that has a lot of meaning for a lot of people in the area. This will be the 16th time that both Pitman and Turlock meet in this Harvest Bowl. It is a rivalry unlike any other, but lately it is a rivalry that has been one-sided. On numerous occasions these last 3, 4, 5 years, Pitman and Turlock have played, and on every single occasion, Turlock has beaten them, including last year 33-0. against Pitman in a game that decided the SeaCal championship. Hello, partner. What do you think?
Keith, well, I can say one thing. This environment is raucous. We noticed right when we walked in, parking lot's full, streets are full, people are out here tailgating, having a good time. This is a perfect Friday night environment. Both sides of the stands are full. Pitman brings the road fans here with them. They've been here for the JV game. Everybody's here to have a good time. This is senior night. We just witnessed all the seniors getting their accolades here for Turlock. This is a great environment for football. That being said, coming into this game, it may be a rough one for the Pitman Pride. They're coming in at 2-7. Turlock Bulldogs right now with a full head of steam this past few weeks, winning every single game. Final game of the season here. They're at home. For the Pitman Pride, you got to try to manage this game, Keith, but it's going to be a rough uphill battle all game long for the Pitman Pride.
Well, like you mentioned it, partner, the Pride of Pitman High School are off to their worst program start ever in program history. They have notched the most losses in a single season and have secured the program's first losing season. But tonight, all that can go out the window with what would be the biggest upset around the entire Northern California high school football landscape. But to do it, they've got to meet a Turlock Bulldog team that is firing on all cylinders. They are 9-0 all-time in the Central California Athletic League, dating back to last year. There's no doubt they want to leave that record clean after this regular season finale. Currently, they've won 4 straight games, and it starts with their offense, and it starts with the running game. Anthony Frias, he is the bell cow. He drives the bus.
Hey, Frias is their man. He is their workhorse. When he gets out into the open field, he is hard to take down. He's fast, he's strong, he's mobile. He is the guy to look out for here tonight. But if Frias isn't having a good game, they've got multiple other guys that they can go to as far as running the rock goes. They've got Josiah Gonzalez. We've seen him have a few good games this year. Then they've got Dalton Lind, who can sometimes get the ball out of the backfield. He's a speedster. They've got just everything offensively, Keith. They've got the run and the pass down good, and they're a great defensive team, too. They're really just a full program, and it's going to be tough for the Pitman Pride here tonight to find a leak in the Turlock Bulldogs.
A lot at stake for the Pitman Pride here tonight, D-Padge. A win could decide that final playoff spot in the CIF San Joaquin Section Division I playoffs. On the other side, you got Grigori hosting Enox, and what would be the other game to decide what that final playoff spot would be. But first things first, you have to win tonight. And if Pitman is going to win tonight, they need to rely on their quarterback, Kendall LaRosa, a quarterback 5'10", 178 pounds. Head coach James Peterson for Turlock said if we are going to have a chance tonight, or we're going to win this game, we've got to stop LaRosa throwing the football.
And I would agree with you wholeheartedly there, Keith. If there would be a leak for the Turlock Bulldogs, it may be their secondary. So if LaRosa can have a good game throwing the ball here down the field and they can score some points, they've got a good opportunity to do the Pitman Pride in that regards. The one thing that they want to avoid is trying to run the rock up the middle because the Turlock Bulldogs defensive line is stout.
And here come those Turlock Bulldogs out of that big, giant, inflatable Bulldog's mouth and hopefully on the field for what would be their 5th straight consecutive win tonight. A win tonight for the Bulldogs, Dustin Padgett, would clinch at least a partial share of the SeaCal championship. But obviously, they're not thinking about that right now. They are thinking about the game at hand. This is a rivalry game where if you lose this, you could go 9-0 per se, but if you lose that one game, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Keith, that being said, they're not going to come into this game looking lightly. This is the Harvest Bowl. This is a team that they've been playing for 15 years in this specific game. This is not a game that the Turlock Bulldogs are going to come and lay down and just say, hey, we've got this game in the bag. They're going to come out and play their best football, and that makes it even harder for the Pitman Pride, knowing that your opponent is here ready to rock, even though they're 7-2 right now, 2-7. That doesn't mean anything. This is a rivalry game. Anything can happen, Keith.
And like you said, this is a rivalry game, and anything that can happen will happen as both teams on the opposite side of the field in just a few short minutes. They will both collide in what will be the 16th meeting in this Harvest Bowl rivalry between Turlock and Pitman. And right now, this is a game with big implications as far as this rivalry goes. Because coming into this football game tonight, Pitman holds the all-time advantage in the wins and loss record in this rivalry by a slim but firm margin at 8-7. Would Turlock win tonight? That makes this all knotted up at 8 wins apiece for both sides. We will take a break. When we come back, we'll continue the pregame. It's Turlock. It's Pitman, and it's the 16th Annual Harvest Bowl on NorCal Sports TV. But first, a couple words. Coming in the summer of 2020, Be one of the first 75 to register for this NorCal Sports Summer Camp and get $100 off your tuition. This is to be held at the former location of the Dick Edwards Camp in Sonora, California at the Sierra Outdoor School. Week 1 Boys Camp, June 16th through 20th of 2020. Week 2 is the Girls Camp from July 7th to July 11th of 2020. It's a 5-day overnight camp with air-conditioned dorms and prepared meals included. Trainers and coaches from the NBA, college, and high school ranks will be in attendance. All games and events filmed professionally by NorCal Sports TV, allowing for film sessions, video evaluations, and individual highlights. Register with a small deposit of $99 to earn your discount and free personalized jersey upgrade. Learn more and register today at www.norcalsportstv.com/camp. And now some other words from our other sponsors who we'd like to thank tonight. American Asphalt, taking care of business. And by FitPro GO. Who will be our FitPro GO player of the game? Stay tuned to find out postgame. And Benton Roberson CPAs, providing quality, personalized financial guidance to local individuals and business. Come visit us at 2853 Gear Road, Suite A in Turlock. And by Willie's Pizza and Wings. Willie's Pizza and Wings, located on 2050 East Canal Drive in Turlock, California. Willie's Pizza and Wings. It's a family thing. And the Turlock High School Quarterback Club. Join the Turlock High School Bulldogs Quarterback Club for breakfast buffet at Latif's in Turlock on Saturdays following every game at 8 a.m. Come meet and hear from our players and coaches about all 3 games.
Protein shake have the real symbol? And how does it taste? Isn't it about time we all got real? Protein shake have the real symbol? And how does it taste? Isn't it about time we all got real? Protein shake have the real symbol? And how does it taste? Isn't it about time we all got real? Protein shake have the real symbol? Protein shake have the real symbol? Does your protein shake have the real symbol? And how does it taste? Isn't it about time we all got real?
You are looking into the eye of the storm, Joe Debley Stadium, on a cool, crisp November night. But the atmosphere is red hot for an old school fashion rivalry to add another chapter to its storybook. It is the 2019 and 16th consecutive annual Harvest Bowl between the 2-7 Pitman Pride and the 7-2 Turlock Bulldogs. Welcome back, Keith Jogonanis, Dustin Paget. We are T-minus less than 10 minutes for tonight's Harvest Bowl. Dustin Paget, if Pitman is going to shock the Northern California landscape, what do they have to do tonight to take home the victory?
Well, there are a few things that they need to do, Keith. First of all, they have to score some points. They have to come out offensively prone and get some touchdowns here tonight. But they also have to play good defense. They're going to have to try to hold Turlock, in somewhere in the teens or the 20 range, to have a good opportunity tonight. And we've seen Turlock being held to lower amounts at times this season. So it's a possibility. And also, you have to be able to come in here and put all of this environment to the side. Because once this 9 minutes runs out and this game gets going, all of this Harvest Bowl stuff, all the senior night, all of the raucous fans, that goes out the window. What you need to focus on is the game of football. So for the Pitman Pride, if they can come out here and focus on the game of football, go out and play, they may have an opportunity to come up with their biggest win of the season and maybe their biggest win in quite some time.
It has been a year as far as their football program is concerned for the Pitman Pride that has taken some getting used to. As we mentioned earlier before we went to commercial break, they are 2-7. Not one player from last year's team that almost went undefeated returned this year. Head coach Lance Weckerly has had to wipe the board completely clean and start new, and that takes some getting used to.
Yeah, Keith, that was a surprising thing to hear, not having one returning player. As you see the team across the way there, they've got a 40-man roster. They've got a lot of guys out here, so they had to go and revamp and get a whole new lineup. And you know what? That's a good reason why they're 2-7. It's very tough to to build cohesiveness in just one season, Keith. That's something that takes some time. And in the future here with the Pitman Pride, look for them to, next season to try to turn the ship around, right it a bit, get back to the winning ways that they're used to here.
This is a rivalry game that might match any rivalry game in Northern California. You want to know how crazy, you want to know how dedicated both sides are to the Harvest Bowl? Well, let me give you a little insight. First things first, if you came here tonight, you couldn't find parking, period. We literally drove down 5 blocks to find our parking spot. And as we were walking into Joe Debeley Stadium, you saw the neighbors, you saw the residents. They were tailgating outside before going into the stadium. And then they installed last year a special pre-sale package. You usually in the past could buy 4 tickets, but now you can only buy 2 because of the new pre-sales. That should just give the folks at home a little insight of just how dedicated and how passionate these folks are to their Harvest Bowl.
Oh, you nailed it on the head, Keith. And then when we walked into the stadium, you see a sign right on the door saying, hey, it's sold out. You can't buy tickets on the spot. So if you're a local in town, a high school kid, or a fan wanted to come watch some football, well, hey, you're not going to be able to get into the stadium tonight. But luckily for them, there's a lot of walking room around. So you're still going to be able to view the game, but you're just not going to be able to get in here because this is a sold-out game, Keith. And for a high school football game, this is probably a first for me in my lifetime, seeing a sold-out environment.
It is loud. It is chaotic. It is passionate all across the board. And the Harvest Bowl is about to erupt like a volcano in T-6. And let me give you another little tidbit for the folks at home. Usually, we're able to hear each other pretty good. Partner, I can't hear literally anything you're saying. I literally have to be over here just to hear you. It is so loud. It is so raucous, and it has been like this for the last half hour.
Keith, you nailed that on the head about how loud it is here. For example, in the JV game before this game started, it was 35-0 at the end of the game. Pitman Pride scored a touchdown, and their fan base erupted as if they won the game. It was clearly they had not, but you know what? Everybody is out here trying to cheer on these young men, and they're going to be here to have a good time, and this crowd is going to be loud on every play. Every play of this game is meaningful. Even at the beginning of this game, every single play I feel like in this one is going to be a loud environment. We may have trouble hearing each other, partner, but you know what? You guys at home won't have any trouble hearing us.
I talked to head coach Lance Weckerly pregame in a conversation, and I asked Coach Weckerly of the Pride. I said, it's been a down year. It has not been a year that you guys would per se, I guess you could say, be happy about as far as record-wise up to this point. But I said, what have you been harping to your players? What have you been preaching to your team about what a win tonight would mean for this program in a down year, with Turlock having a chance to clinch at least a partial credit for the CCAL championship? He said, hey, in a rivalry game like this, anything can happen, even in the Harvest Bowl, especially in the Harvest Bowl. And tonight, Lance Weckerly and his Pride will try to do what many think around town is going to be the biggest potential upset of the year. They will try to beat the Turlock Bulldogs, who are coming in with 4 straight victories, as the team captains meet at midfield for the opening coin toss. Dustin Pageant, just imagine the energy, the tingling sensation that they are having right now going through their entire bodies, getting ready for this contest.
Now, that's something I can't imagine because I was once an athlete myself, so you know how those big environments can be. You're out here right now, and your heart is pumping, your adrenaline is rushing. But, hey, when the game gets going, as I was mentioning, a lot of these young men are out there going to just focus. They're going to tune in, and they're going to tune out everything that's around them, other than their coaches, of course. And they're just going to come out here and play the game of football. And if you're the Turlock Bulldogs, you haven't clinched much of anything yet here. You haven't even clinched the CCAL. You haven't necessarily clinched a home playoff game, as we were talking to one of the coaches here before the fact. So if they don't win this game here tonight, Keith, that could come back to bite them. They may end up having to play a road playoff game week 1. So this is a very important game for the Bulldogs.
Turlock, by the looks of it, has decided to forego the opportunity to receive the football first. Pitman will receive to start this football game, and they will go and have this football for the first time tonight as all team captains shake hands and enjoy pleasantries. And, man, it is raucous, it is loud, it is chaotic. And it is the perfect kind of weather involved for high school football. We will take a break. The national anthem coming up. When we come back, Pitman and Turlock. It's the 16th Harvest Bowl on NorCal Sports TV.
And we would also like at this time, if you would please join me in a moment of silence for two Turlock High School students who have recently passed away.
We welcome you back to NorCal Sports TV. Keith Joganatis, Dustin Pageant. We've had the pleasantries exchanged. All that remains, partners, for skin off and get this one going.
Hey, my adrenaline has been pumping for the past hour, Keith. I am ready to get this underway. I know all of these players are also ready to get it underway. We've had everything done. Now let's play some football and enjoy a good game. This is going to be a nice battle here tonight, Keith, at Joe Debley Stadium.
I can't tell how loud it is on all of you amazing viewers' feed of this football game, because I'm not at your computer screen or your mobile device or whichever you're watching. But if you are, we thank you first and foremost. But you have to take my word for it, folks. It's loud.
Oh, yeah, definitely, Keith. And you know what? You could also be watching this on your Roku, on your TV at home, because that's where my girlfriend's watching. It's pretty cool. You don't have to just be on a computer or mobile device. We're free on YouTube, and there's lots of platforms that you could watch us. And that's a super cool opportunity for you guys at home, for you fans. We appreciate everybody tuning in here.
Jesse Luna and Chris Avalos back to return the opening kickoff for the Pride. Diego Angel, who has been a great kicker the entire year. If this game is close, watch out for Angel. He could be a very big factor in this one with that leg of his. But for now, we're ready to kick this one off. Turlock in the traditional navy blue with yellow lettering. Pitman, all white, green lettering. Angel is ready. We get the whistle. We're going to play football. The 16th annual Harvest Bowl is underway. As Luna returns it near the 10-yard line, cuts it up, and he is taken down around the 24-yard line. And that is great special teams coverage. Gilberto Vega was there on the stop.
Yes, that was a great job there for the Bulldogs, stopping them to a short field here to start the game.
So that will bring in this Pitman Pride offense and Mr. Kendall LaRosa at quarterback. Pitman has had a tough non-conference schedule. Lance Eckerly says it's built us for this moment. Jet sweep. Stephen Harry Maybe got one, pushed all the way back by a sea of navy blue jerseys, but a flag on the play.
Going to be a late hit.
And you wondered about the emotions. Obviously rampant. It's literally one play into the football game, but already we've got our first yellow dirty laundry on the floor.
And we saw 3 officials throw the flag there. They were right on top of it. It was a gang tackle, which is a great job for the Bulldogs defense. They just let it go a little bit too long after the whistle was blown, and that's key. Biting yourself in the back here early.
So that is a 15-yard penalty, and that is a big penalty. And we've talked about it throughout these broadcasts. Turlock has been a well-oiled machine, Dustin Paget. The only thing that's held them back for the most part are the penalties.
Yes, Keith. We definitely saw them commit some penalties earlier on in the season in a game, and that's a bad start here for them defensively.
And that puts the football now at the 42-yard line of the Pride and a fresh new set of downs. 1st and 10. La Rosa gonna unleash the deep ball down the sideline, and it's caught. But they will say out of bounds was Cade Morris, the 6'2 senior, as La Rosa fired away. Unfortunately, his man Morris out of bounds, and that was a big play that could have been big implications.
Hey, I like the idea of going down the field here, and he had it right as he was going out of bounds, but he actually drops the ball here, Keith, and that ball ends up landing on the ground.
So 2nd and 10 now. Pitman tries to unleash the deep ball on 1st and 10. What will they do on 2nd and 10? And this is a keeper from Morosa. He lunges forward for about a gain of a couple. In on the stop was Jaden Jackson, who is the team captain defensively as far as the heart and soul of that defensive unit. And that is a defensive unit, Dustin Paget, that has had multiple sacks recorded in each of those 4 wins.
Yeah, their defensive line and their linebacker core is some of the best in the area.
So we're looking at about 3rd and 7, 3rd and 6. Play action. Nowhere to go. La Rosa taken down by Rios Rogers. Hello there, neighbor. Mr. Rogers in the backfield for a sack.
Hey, Rios Rogers is one of their best sackers all year long. I'm not surprised to see that. We will hear his name quite often on the defensive side here, Keith. Huge stop for the Bulldogs to force the punt.
And you see no one on that right side of the line accounted for Rogers. He went right through Dustin Paget. The front door is open. He didn't even need a knock.
Definitely not, Keith. And then he finishes his La Rosa off well, too, there, not allowing him to get anywhere.
This punt taken by Lynn, who was tackled immediately, and that was great coverage by Anthony Manzo, number 13, the sophomore.
Yeah, Manzo right there getting the job done.
And we've got another flag. And it looks like they might call Jackson for something as they are pointing towards Jaden Jackson as he walks off the sideline.
Wow. Unsportsmanlike.
Another unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. The second one here in the early going for Turlock, and we haven't even gone under 10 minutes yet, and already Turlock has 2. And right here, we're going to get a talk here from James Peterson, who's trying to understand the penalty. But already 2 penalties called on Turlock here, and you've got to watch yourself. If you're the Bulldogs, this is a game with a lot of emotions. You got to keep them in check.
Yeah, 30 yards and penalties here in just about a minute and a half of play, and that's going to pin them all the way deep inside. So if you're the Pitman Pride, you didn't get anything points-wise on your first drive, but at the moment you're winning the battle of field position. Turlock's got about 90 yards to go here, Keith.
So Turlock will start inside their 20-yard line. Out comes Brock Paisley, who in recent weeks has been dealing with a little ankle problem, was an ankle sprain a couple of games back. I talked to head coach James Peterson. He said he got some ice treatment this week. He asked him if he was good to go. He said, "Oh yeah, coach, I'm good to go. I'm 100% ready. I'm just making sure we ice this down, and I'm foolproof." And he is.
Hey, you know, a former athlete yourself, anytime you play sports, you never want to not play. You're always going to tell your coach, "I'm good to go."
1st and 10, Paisley in the shotgun, Frias to his left, the lone running back. And he'll give it to Frias, who will go to the right side. Frias breaking tackles. Anthony Frias tripped up by a shoestring tackle near the 25-yard line, but he's out in front for a fresh new set of downs.
It was a nice tackle there to save what could have been a lot more, but hey, Frias will take the first down every time.
Anthony Frias, who bulked up and packed on at least 15 pounds of muscle in the offseason. He always had speed, Coach Peterson said. He says, but now he's got some muscle, and he's hard to take down. Paisley keeps it, throws it to the flat. He's got Dalton Lynn, the speedster, and Dalton Lynn can really move. Still going near the 50-yard line. Tackle is made, but not before Dalton Lynn on the flat route gets big yardage. Tackle made by Jonathan Rodriguez.
23 yards there and a first down. The Bulldogs offense looking sharp here in the early going.
And be on the lookout for Lynn all night tonight, folks. He is the speedster on this team.
Oh, yeah, Lynn, we know, as you see on this replay here, it was a great block from his wide receiver there to set that for the first down.
It looked like the senior Holden Baldwin laid that block on the left sideline. It's Frias again. Bounces it out to the outside. Anthony Frias looking to cause some trouble. He runs over one man, and Turlock is inside the 25 just like that.
Wow.
And when Anthony Frias gets going, Dustin Pageant, it is hard to take him down with just one man.
Yeah, and the cut that he has here, too. What a move. We'll see as he gets to the outside right here. He says, see you later. Give him an extra 15 yards after that cut.
1st and 10 once again. Ball placed exactly at the Pride's 25-yard line. To the flat they go again. It's Cade Gilbert. Another flag down on the play as Gilbert extends this to the 20-yard line.
That looks like a block in the back there. It might set them back.
Tackle made by Avalos, number 34, the senior linebacker. And it will set Turlock back once again, and to the dismay of the Turlock faithful, another flag, and nonetheless, this ball now pushed back to the Pride's 31-yard line.
Yeah, that'll take away a 7-yard gain and it'll bring first in about 20 here. And this is a spot for the Pride where you got them in a long down and distance to see if they can step it up and get some negative plays here.
Under 9 minutes to go in the first quarter. Frias sheds one tackler, and he just dives forward for a gain of about maybe 1 or 2. Inside on that one was Jonathan Stout, another senior linebacker.
Also, Nathan Bittner in there with the tackle, and that's what they were looking for on first down. So now it's going to bring up 2nd and 15.
So a little closer to their preferred end destination, but nonetheless, Turlock still stuck with a 2nd and long play right here. What will James Peterson and the offense draw up? They go to Frias again. Frias tries to shed one tackler, but he's marked down as Avalos charged with a tackle there.
Wow, what a play there in the backfield from Avalos to stop Frias in his tracks. They blew him dead before he went down, and Frias was a little upset about that, Keith. He thought he might have been able to keep going.
Well, a big man like Frias obviously thinks he can shed a tackle anytime, and he thought right there, Dustin Pageant, obviously, if he had another second, he could have shed Avalos. But nonetheless, the referees say he's marked down, and they will mark him down at the 33-yard line.
3rd and 18. What do you draw up here, Keith? Are you trying to get in field goal range, or are you going to try to get that first down?
I don't know what exactly James Peterson and his Bulldog crew are going to draw up, but I know they're going to let the big dog, Brock Paisley, eat here and try to throw the football. Play action. Paisley with time. Floats it over the middle. It's caught by Baldwin. Baldwin still going. Marked down at the 1-yard line. Holden Baldwin. And Holden Baldwin, who in that Downey game had the touchdown that pretty much sealed the deal. They hit him across the middle, and Paisley with pinpoint accuracy moves the chains on first down.
What a job from the offensive line here. As you see, Keith, Paisley has all day to throw that one. Goes through his progressions, finds the open receiver.
And obviously Brock Paisley, who has taken over as quarterback this season, has had a great year, but this offensive line sure has helped him, and they helped him there with plenty of time. 1st and goal. They go up the middle. Into the end zone. Anthony Frias, touchdown Turlock, 6-0 just like that.
And what a start here for the Bulldogs. Get the stop on defense and then go down the field 90 yards for the touchdown.
So Anthony Frias punches it in right down the middle.
A little cut back here from him to easily dive into the end zone for the touchdown.
And so just like that, Turlock with the early advantage. They go more than 80 yards on this drive for the touchdown. It was textbook. extra point by Angel is picture perfect. So, have to go more than 80 yards? No problem. Turlock does it. They punch it in by using Anthony Frias' run up the gut with an exclamation point. It's 7-0 Turlock against Pitman here with 7:17 to go in the first quarter at the Harvest Bowl on NorCal Sports TV. And we want to thank some of our sponsors here while we have the time. American Asphalt, taking care of business. FitPro GO. Who will be our FitPro GO player of the game? Stay tuned to find out. And the Sonora Conference Center with open rooms. Our grand opening here in Sonora, in downtown Sonora. Head over to the Sonora Conference Center for more details. So, 7-0. Just like that, Turlock, after a touchdown by Frias, Angel, who just kicked the extra point, back to give Pitman's offense another shot to see if they can try to tie this one up now.
Yeah, Keith, they're going to have to come out and try to grab some momentum back there. That back-breaking 3rd and 18 pass to Holden Baldwin there was tough for the Pitman Pride.
Low line drive, kicked by Angel. It's returned in stride by Luna. Luna makes one cut, but he's tackled immediately. Whoa! And that one had some big hot fire on that baby as Josiah Gonzalez, who has been a premier running back next to Frias, number 22, laid the boom there near the 20-yard line.
Yeah, another gang tackle there. They had 4 guys all on him. Nowhere to go for Luna, only out to the 22-yard line. Great job for the special teams for the Bulldogs here on the first 2 kickoffs.
This drive for Pitman starts at their own 22-yard line. They go up the middle, and there was nothing there. Maybe their man returns to the line of scrimmage. That tackle made by Josh Backus, number 5. And what a big-time tackle that was, as Luna with the first carry of the night. But he is stopped right in his tracks.
That's something that you're not going to be able to do very well against the Bulldogs defense, is run the ball up the middle. You're going to have to stick to more of those jet sweeps and halfback tosses to the outside if you're going to want to try to run on this Bulldogs D.
Now LaRosa and company in the shotgun. Low snap, and it's fumbled as LaRosa will have to just jump on top of this one, and that could have been very, very dangerous if LaRosa didn't have the presence of mind to get on top of that football.
Miscommunication there, Keith, in the backfield, tossed the wrong way, and ball was on the ground. Luckily for them, they were able to recover.
So now 3rd and long, as that fumble and that miscommunication on the snap will push Pitman back to their own 15-yard line. An offense that Lance Eckerly says has been getting progressively better and better every single week. He hopes tonight it culminates into an upset against Turlock.
Let's see what the Pride can do on their 3rd and 18 opportunity.
LaRosa and his man had no idea that football was coming, intended for Magina, number 11.
Had the man open right there, Keith Magina, but was unable to connect with him, was LaRosa. That'll bring up 4th and long in a punting situation.
So back out trots Lynn. He will set up for his punt return at around the 45-yard line as Pitman gets set to punt on their 2nd drive of the game. They're going to punt it to Lynn, but it's going to be short, as this one is very short. It'll be down at around the own 36-yard line of the Pride. And that was not what Pitman needed. They needed a punt to get out of harm's way, and instead they set Turlock up with great field position.
Hey, Turlock got 90-yard drive there last time. Now they've only got 36 yards to go. If you're the Pitman Pride, this is a very key spot in this game here. You do not want to go down 14-0 in the first quarter to the Turlock Bulldogs. That's not a recipe for victory. So let's see if they can do something on the defensive side here.
Cruz out wide on the left side for the Bulldogs, the tight end. Paisley scrambles to his right. Now going to fire it, and that pass caught at around the 15-yard line. First down for the Bulldogs as Baldwin snags that football there, as Holden Baldwin with his 2nd catch of the game. You see right here, it's just textbook pitch and catch.
Hey, Baldwin is Paisley's favorite receiver, and as you can see why, he's big, he's got hands. He's just an all-around great receiver is Holden Baldwin.
The senior Baldwin has been very clutch in numerous situations this season for the Bulldogs. And we're going to get a flag on the field now on 1st and 10.
Possibly a false start.
And it will be a false start.
4th penalty here just in the first 7 minutes of play here for the Bulldogs. That's something they're going to want to shore up moving forward.
And you can only imagine if the penalties were not a factor here. Turlock has gone up and down the field these first 2 drives like it's been nothing.
Yes, you got that right, Keith. That puts them in another 1st and long situation. Let's see if the Pitman Pride can step up and try and get them out of this down and distance.
Ball at the 31. Paisley pitches it out. It's muffed for a minute, but Lynn picks it back up, and he will get at least a couple, maybe a gain of 4. Tackle made by Stout, number 28, and that could have been dangerous because Lynn almost dropped it, but he had the presence of mind to pick it back up.
Yeah, Lynn did have that ball on the ground briefly, but for the Bulldogs' sake, they actually get rid of that penalty yards and gain a couple more. So brings up a pretty reasonable 2nd down for them.
We will go under 5 minutes in the first quarter after this play. Caught by Lynn. Lynn can't get around the corner. A number of white jerseys there, including Magina, number 11.
Great stop there for the Pitman Pride, only giving him about a 1-yard gain. And that puts them in a 3rd down and, middle situation, 3rd and 6 here. See if the Pride can get a stop and force 4th down.
And for Turlock, if they don't get this 3rd down, you'd have to wonder what they do because they could go for it. On the other side, Angel has been money kicking the football this year.
40-yard field goal from here, so toss up to see what they do.
Up the middle. Frias trying to shed as many tacklers as he can, but he's eventually taken down short of the marker, and that was great there by number 56, Remy Serrano.
Yeah, Serrano throws him down to the ground, and that was an awesome play. He only gains a yard there. It's going to bring up 4th down and 4. But like I said, it's about a 37-yard field goal from here, and I don't think they're going to go with the field goal attempt. Keith, looks like they're leaving the offense on the field.
Turlock, for the time being, has elected to keep the offense on the field, and James Peterson says, from the looks of it, we're going to go for it, and they will.
I like that idea. They've stopped him twice on defense so far.
Paisley, left corner, pass cut. It's Lynn again.
Looks like he's got it.
And he does.
Seen a lot of quick passes here from Paisley in the offense from Peterson here in the early going.
There was a play similar to that a couple of weeks ago where they did go for it on 4th down. They didn't get it, so we wanted to make sure. But nonetheless, 1st down, and Turlock inside. Up the middle, it's Frias. He trudges forward in between the lines in the tackles for a gain of a couple.
Good pursuit from the Pitman Pride D again. It's seemingly like they're figuring out the running offense situation here for the Bulldogs. These last few plays they've tried to run, we've seen some good D here.
El Rey Davoud, number 44, with the stop. And, man, Peterson has called Frias' number a slew of times here early on. They are definitely trying to wear down this Pride defense. Frias again. Gain of about 2.
Good tackling again for the Pitman Pride. That's 2 plays in a row. They've set them down and put them up in another 3rd down and 5 situation.
And that tackle made by Harinder Garcha, number 80. Another 3rd down for Pitman to try and stop Turlock. 2:35 as the clock continues to tick down here in the first quarter. And we're going to get a whistle.
Timeout, it looks like.
And we are going to get a timeout from Pitman, excuse me. So right here, this is an interesting situation that Lance Eckerly and the Pride are in. You are backed up literally to your own front door. What kind of advice do you have to give your defense here? I mean, obviously, you need to get a stop. And the way that Turlock's been going, this might be 4th down territory for them to try and punch it in again.
You know, very well may be, but they're in a lot shorter field goal range here. So if you're the Pitman Pride, you want to try to force that 4th down. And as you saw on the 4th and 5 play just a moment ago, they threw a quick pass out, wide receiver screen. Let's see if I was the Pitman Pride, that's what I would be looking for, something like that.
And while we have this break, we'll thank a couple of our sponsors. Benton Roberson CPA is providing quality, personalized financial guidance to local individuals and businesses. Come visit us at 2853 Gear Road, Suite A in Turlock. And the Turlock High School Quarterback Club. Join the Turlock High Bulldogs Quarterback Club for breakfast buffet at Latif's in Turlock on Saturdays. Following every game at 8 a.m., come meet and hear from our players and coaches about all 3 games. Here we go. 3rd down. They're going to go in motion as they give it to Pena, who will try to turn the corner. Pena's still going. He's in. But with a flag down on the play as Pena got really, really close to that end zone.
It's going to be a holding.
It's going to be a face mask.
Wow.
And we will see on this replay possibly if Pena reached out and grabbed some helmet.
Another huge penalty for the Turlock Bulldogs. They're 5th in this quarter, and 3 of them have been of the 15-yard variety, Keith. And what was 3rd and 4 is now going to bring up another 3rd and 19 situation. That is a back-breaker.
And that makes this 3rd down attempt for Turlock a little bit harder. And it was a great call by Peterson to dial it up. Usually he'd have Lynn go in motion on the jet sweep, but this time he goes to Pena, who had a big touchdown grab last week.
Well, it only gave him a 3-yard penalty there on the face mask. That's kind of a strange one. It must have been a spot foul on a face mask. Never seen that.
3rd and 7. Paisley going to fade it to the left corner. Caught! Touchdown! Holden Baldwin! 13-0 Turlock, just like that.
What a pass there from Paisley, right over the shoulder of the cornerback, right into Baldwin's hands. Done perfectly here, Keith. Couldn't have executed it better at all. What a
Baldwin.
catch.
Holden Baldwin, 6'4" senior, with another catch in this first quarter, and this time he hooks up with Paisley for the fade route near the left pylon for a touchdown. And if you had any wonders if Turlock's offense, who did not score in the entire second half last week, was in a little dry spell, well, no need to wonder anymore. They're still firing on all cylinders. Angel's extra point is good. And right now, Turlock is up 14-0 in the Harvest Bowl. Can Pitman answer back with some points of their own? We'll find out on NorCal Sports TV. Welcome back. Holden Baldwin snagging the end zone from Brock Paisley makes it 14-0 Turlock here on NorCal Sports TV with 2:17 remaining in the first quarter as Diego Angel set to kick this one back off to the pride of Pitman. Luna's going to run it out. He's tackled near the 15-yard line. Oh, baby. Wasn't that some great, shifty, nifty moves from number 7, Miguel Pena, who had the jet sweep called back from the face mask penalty. And on special teams, with great effort there, he pins Pitman all the way back inside their own 20.
That's the 3rd straight kickoff we've seen the special teams for the Bulldogs getting it done. The average field position's right around the 20-yard line for the Pitman Pride.
They're going to go left. Stephen Harry didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yes, great pursuit for the Bulldogs defense. Tyron Montgomery right there with the tackle.
Montgomery, who has more than 3 sacks on the season, has been a beast on the inside for Turlock. And now we're going to see Anthony Frias check in defensively as Baca will come out to get a rest. He will play a whole lot of snaps tonight. That, folks, you can bet your bottom dollar on. Two wideouts to the right for Pitman on 2nd and long. La Rosa fires left. Gain of about 2, maybe 3 to Harry again. Pushed out of bounds. Tackle made by number 24, Oscar Cruz, who makes up a very stout defensive backfield on this Turlock team. We get all the pub about the defensive line, but this secondary is nothing to joke with.
Definitely, Keith, and that's going to bring up another 3rd and long situation here for the Pitman Pride. Got to try to move the sticks here.
La Rosa, pressure coming. Steps up now, going to take off and run. He is drilled as he tries to get forward. La Rosa is still going, but they will mark him down at around the 25-yard line.
Wow.
Cruz with the tackle.
A little bit early for the officials there to call him down. He was hit in the air, but when he came down, he broke off it almost immediately there, Keith.
Well, it was an interesting play because La Rosa takes off, tries to make a move, and literally gets popped up in the air by Cruz from the looks of it. But nonetheless, it's another 4th down, and for a consecutive drive here, Pitman has to punt. That punt almost blocked. This one better in length, as it'll be Lynn who fair catches it at the Bulldogs' own 40-yard line.
Good punt there for the Pitman Pride. But, hey, you got 3 possessions on offense, and so far 3 punts for the Pitman Pride. Bulldogs defense just showing up tonight as usual.
19 seconds remaining in this first quarter. And if you are Turlock, obviously a touchdown here would obviously put Pitman in a situation you're down 3 scores. And if you're Pitman, you cannot afford to give up any more points going forward. As your offense continues to struggle, you cannot continue to dig yourself into a hole like this.
Those 3rd down and 4th down conversions are what been the biggest problem for the Pitman Pride.
They go out to Lynn on the flat. Flynn makes one man, misses Lynn. Still going, stiff arm. Lynn still going. Some big movements there by Dalton Lynn as he trudges forward for a gain of about 6. Tackle made by Rodriguez.
Hey, what a play there from Lynn. He also momentarily lost the ball in his hands. The defender was able to knock it out just for a split second, but again, Lynn was right on top of it in his hands, does not let it get out for a fumble. Strong hands from Lynn.
So now after Lynn's catch in the flat, it's 2nd and 4. Jet sweep to Lynn. He is wrestled down behind the line of scrimmage. And there to make that one was Matthew Nissan, number 72. And with that stoppage behind the line of scrimmage, that will end the first quarter. In a game that has seen to start this Harvest Bowl, Turlock up 14-0 against Pitman will return for the second quarter of the 2019 and 16th annual Harvest Bowl on NorCal Sports TV. And now a couple of words to thank our sponsors. Willie's Pizza and Wings. Willie's Pizza and Wings located on 2050 East Canal Drive. Willie's Pizza and Wings. It's a family thing. And Benton Roberson CPAs. Benton Roberson CPAs providing quality, personalized financial guidance to local individuals and businesses. Come visit us at 2853 Gear Road, Suite A in Turlock. Welcome back. Start of the second quarter about to get underway in a raucous environment from Joe Debley Stadium, where after one full quarter of football, it is 14-0. Turlock over Pitman. Mr. Paget, your thoughts after one full quarter of football?
Well, frankly, Keith, this is exactly the type of game I was expecting, even with the rivalry at hand. Right now, this season can show you what's been going on. Turlock is on fire, won a bunch of games in a row. Pitman's having a rough year. That's what's showing up on the field so far.
So now 3rd down. Pitman has had trouble stopping Turlock on 3rd down all game thus far. Can they stop him here? Caught by Pena. Pena tries to spin out of it. He's very, very close to that 1st down marker as he's tackled down near the 49-yard line. It's Garcha, number 80, who got him. And they say he will move the chains. It's 1st down, as Pena gets just enough, they say, for a 1st down conversion.
Generous spot there, but hey, for 4th and inches, they likely probably would have gotten that anyways.
1st and 10, right smack dab in the middle of the 50-yard line. Turlock wasting no time.
That's a fumble.
And it's a fumble. It's a live ball. Lynn struggled to catch that pass. Lynn still going now. He is going to be tackled at around the 35-yard line. And we got a couple of yellow flags on the field as that play ends. And what a very peculiar play, to say the least, as it looked like Paisley threw that one behind Lynn, resulting in the fumble. And for now, this ball is at the 35-yard line as the refs congregate to see what the call is.
The flag was at the end of the play here, Keith, for sure.
Personal foul, Turlock Bulldogs.
Ouch. So not only do they have about a 20-yard loss on the play, Keith, but you're going to add a 15-yard penalty to that as well. Their sixth penalty of the game and their fourth 15-yarder.
And that tacks on 15 yards to send the Bulldogs backwards now, as that ball is now going to be put at their own 21-yard line. There has yet to be a flag called on the pride of Pitman High School. All the yellow laundry so far belong to the Bulldogs.
Oh, my. This is 2nd and 48. Wow.
First and way long.
2nd and 29.
Well, it was announced 2nd and 29, but
Excuse me, 2nd and 29. Direct snap to Lynn. Lynn still going as he trudges forward. Tackled at the 29-yard line. Tackle made by number 51, Gutierrez, the defensive lineman, who's a junior, 238 total pounds on that big boy.
So they're at their own 30, and they got to get all the way to the 40. So it's 3rd and 31 here, Keith. That last play was actually a 2nd and 39, not 29.
So now, Turlock, we'll see what they have in the bag for here. Paisley, plenty of time. Rush coming. Pass caught by Pena, but he's immediately tackled down at the 35-yard line. In on that one was Monzo, number 13. Gutierrez, number 51, was near the football as well, and it's 4th down.
I saw one of the Bulldogs guys pointing to the coach saying, let's go for it on a 4th and 25. That's laughable.
So it'll be 4th down now. 4th and 14 to be exact, as Angel finds himself in a peculiar situation here. Also in front of Angel is Cade Gilbert. James Peterson likes to have some trickery every now and then up his sleeve. Let's see how this one plays out. No tricks here. Angel will boot it away. This football taken at the 30-yard line. Big hit there at around the 40-yard line of Pitman as Romo, number 20, pops right back up. But, man, was that some hard hitting right there as Trent Neal, number 45, was in on that one.
Smash mouth football there. And, hey, if you're the Pitman Pride, you finally got a defensive stop. Now, granted, that was helped all by that backwards lateral that was a disaster for the Bulldogs. But now you got the ball at the 40-yard line. You go down and get a touchdown. You're right back in the game, Keith.
And as we looked more closely at the replay, Dustin Pageant, Rios Rogers, number 14, had the stop. But let's be honest here, Romo definitely got a piece on that one as he launched forward.
Oh, yeah.
Best field position to start a drive for Pitman so far. They go up the middle. Breaking a tackle is Luna for a gain of a couple. And we've got a Pitman Pride member on this offense down.
Looks like that is Luna.
And we will wait to see who it is. We can't get a clear view of the jersey number. So we'll wait to see who is on the field there, and we wish him the best and hope that he is up in no time. We will thank some of our sponsors here. The Turlock High School Quarterback Club. Join the Turlock High Bulldogs Quarterback Club for breakfast buffet at Latif's in Turlock on Saturdays, following every game at 8 a.m. Come meet and hear from our players and coaches about all 3 games. And Benton Roberson CPAs, providing quality, personalized financial guidance to local individuals and businesses. Come visit us at 2853 Gear Road, Suite A in Turlock. And American Asphalt, taking care of business, American Asphalt. And FitPro GO, who will be our FitPro GO player of the game? Stay tuned to find out postgame. and the Sonora Conference Center, located in downtown Sonora. The grand opening on 2222 South Shepherd Street, Sonora, California. Go to sonoraconferencecenter.com or call 833-247-MEET for meet for more details. We welcome you back, NorCal Sports TV, as a injured Pitman player on the field. It is currently 14-0 Turlock in the second quarter with 9:31 to play. And just as you called it, Dustin Padgett, it is Luna who is shaken up. And you hope that you see Luna in the near future, because he had just maybe the most successful offensive play they've had so far on that run up the gut.
Yeah, he took a hit to the helmet there when he was going down, Keith. Let's hope that he's okay. As they don't have a tent here to send him into for a concussion protocol, but he's not limping or anything with his lower body, so I'm wondering if maybe he's a little woozy.
So after Luna's run, it is now 2nd and 6 for the Pride. They go up the middle as Rogers pokes the ball loose. Turlock says they have it. They do. Turlock with a fumble recovery. Rogers poked the ball loose, and the Bulldogs get it back. Holy guacamole, a big-time turnover.
Backbreaker there for the Pitman Pride. You just got your first defensive stop of the game. Had the ball, good field position. All of a sudden, the Bulldogs' defensive line, as I was mentioning, that stout defensive line gets it done. 4 men there on that tackle, forcing the fumble.
Efren Serrano, number 53, was there as well near the football. Rogers, who has a sack and a fumble now on the game thus far. 1st and 10 from the Pitman 41.
Audible here, Keith.
Paisley didn't like what he saw. He's going to change it up. Paisley, pump fake to the flat. He's got Baldwin wide open down the right sideline. Touchdown! Turlock Bulldogs, the 2nd touchdown catch of the night for Holden Baldwin so far. And it's 20-0 THS.
And how about Brock Paisley here, Keith? He is so smart out there on the field. He saw that Baldwin's defender was playing him about 10 yards off, calls an audible, and then pump fakes the defender. Absolute amazing quarterback play there. Baldwin's no slouch, but he didn't really have to do much of anything there, Keith, other than run down the field and catch the ball.
The defensive back, Monzo, number 13, was trailing Baldwin. He was the only man within the surrounding area of number 10, and he wasn't even close to being 10 feet near Baldwin. Extra point by Angel, right down the money. And mamma mia, 21-0 Turlock, just like that here on NorCal Sports TV, as Pitman looking for answers and looking to put some points on the board. So just like that, 21-0 Turlock over Pitman. And all it took was one play for that touchdown to come about. Holden Baldwin, he has been on a tear so far, Dustin Padgett. Over 4 catches, 2 of those being TD grabs.
Yeah, Keith, and I just can't say again, that might have been one of the best audibles I've ever seen for a high school quarterback to call. That Brock Paisley just showed me how smart of a quarterback he was. I already knew he was athletic, he's big, he's strong, he could throw the ball. But there, he saw that was an NFL quarterback's eyes there. He saw the experience. He knew what was going on. The defender was playing way back on him. He said, I'm going to Baldwin here, and he did it to perfection. What a job there from Paisley and Baldwin.
This kick by Antel, taken at the 10-yard line by Avalos. Avalos wrestled down at about the 26-yard line by the Turlock special teams. In on that one, number 15, Victor Macias.
Again, the Bulldogs special teams has been playing on point here tonight. Every one of their kickoffs, they're really getting down there and stopping them to a very minimal gain.
You talked about Brock Paisley, the senior quarterback, big, tall, lanky, 6'3", 200 pounds, but James Peterson said he is one of the smartest and most dedicated workers on the football field and inside the film room. La Rosa rolls right over the middle, and that pass incomplete as he targeted DeCure, Aiden DeCure, number 2. No flag on the play for pass interference. Wow. And it'll be 2nd and 10 now.
Sure seemingly was all over him there. I was wondering what they saw. Maybe it was they were tangled up together, so they didn't call anything on that.
As the refs hold their yellow flags on that one, and that is a good thing for Turlock. That would have been another penalty for the Bulldogs. There is yet to be a penalty called on the Pitman Pride. So now 2nd and 10 for the Pride. They go right side. Stephen Harry. Maybe a gain of 1 or 2, and that is about it, as there were 3 or 4 navy blue jerseys to that side of the field. And on that one, Cade Gilbert, as well as Jaden Jackson, number 44.
I like the play call there for the Pitman Pride. It was a little bit of a trickeration and end around, but it just did not get it done. It's very tough to run on this Bulldogs defense, whether it's up the middle or to the outside.
8:36 to play in the second quarter, and for Pitman, you're down 3 scores. They know now they have to throw the football. It was an empty set in the shotgun formation. Got a penalty here. It's going to be offsides on Turlock. So another penalty for the Bulldogs. And that makes this 3rd down attempt a little more closer for the Pride.
That might have been the only penalty they would have liked to have. They had a guy open down here, wide receiver, that was uncovered. The Bulldogs defense was late to get into coverage, and that likely would have been a long gain down the field as the wide receiver was wide open. So the offsides actually helps them.
They go up the middle. Big run here. 1st down for Pitman as Avalos, number 34, breaks free. And right there, that was scary for Turlock, because if Avalos broke one more tackle, he would have been gone.
Yes, I love it. They gave it to the up back there. They only needed a couple yards. They got 7, easily get the 1st down. They're only their 2nd 1st down of the game. Let's see if they can turn this into some momentum and go down and get 7.
Without question, the most productive offensive play so far. La Rosa going to uncork the deep ball down the right sideline. Incomplete, but numerous yellow flags in on that one. And I'm not a gambling man, but I would have to safely bet this is going to be a pass interference involved, whether it be the offense or the defense.
Well, hey, Keith, I am a gambling man, and I will tell you this is a pass interference penalty. Definitely. Both refs threw that one.
So, it is another penalty on Turlock as Pitman catches another break there.
That's over 100 yards of penalties here in just not even 1.5 quarters. If they keep that pace up, Keith, they can go over 200 yards penalties here tonight.
This football will now be placed at the Turlock 41-yard line, and with it comes a fresh new set of downs for the Pride. This has been a year for Pitman that has tested their will and their adversity. A whole new team. No one from last year's team returned. They're building something here, and they're trying to build some points right now. Going to get a whistle here and a timeout. And this timeout is for Pitman, as Pitman will try to draw up what they want to do here. And, partner, this is a situation where this is Pitman's best field position they've had so far. They got to get one in eventually.
Hey, if you don't get 7 here on this drive, Keith, I mean, you don't have much of an opportunity moving forward to make a comeback in this game. I mean, Turlock Bulldogs clearly are going to keep scoring points. It's been tough to stop them. You've only had 1 stop so far in 4 possessions, so you got to match them somehow. So they got to start scoring touchdowns and scoring them at a rapid pace. So, yes, as you said, they got to get in right here. You got the ball on the 41-yard line, 1st down. Big drive here for the Pitman Pride.
Talked to both coaches before this game, and you talked to Coach Eckerly, you talked to Mr. James Peterson. They both said the same thing. This is going to be a raucous environment, which it is. It always is. It is the Harvest Bowl after all, and you've got to be able to control your emotions and focus on what you can control, as both teams now trying to lock in as we are at the 7:45 mark in the first half. Pitman with their best field position so far, still driving. They're going to go up the middle. That one is stopped before it even starts. Tackle made there. And in on that one was Bullock, as well as Mr. Rogers. But Pitman hurries back up to the line.
A little bit of no huddle here for Pitman.
LaRosa checking. Now he's got the confirmation. Halfback draw to the right side as lunging forward for a gain of a good amount is Julian Lindo, number 22, the 5'8", 158-pound senior, as Anthony Frias, who plays both sides of the football with the stop. It is now 3rd and 5, and what do you do here?
Hey, 4-down territory, you're in a spot where you're too long for a field goal, too short for a punt. Between the 30 and the 40 in high school football is like dead man's land. So you got 2 chances here really to get 5 yards.
LaRosa, pressure coming. Sacked. Rogers comes up with his second big time play in the first half.
That's going to bring up a 4th down play, and I still feel like it's 4-down territory. You're not really going to punt it on the 38-yard line, so it looks like they may go for it here, Keith.
Rogers tacks on his second sack of the first half. And as you put it, Destin Pageant, there looks to be no signs of the punting unit.
Big play here for the Pride.
First 4th down attempt for Pitman. And we're going to get a whistle. Timeout.
Final
Pitman.
timeout.
So with 5:54 to go here, Lance Eckerly will talk with his offense. We will get to some of our sponsors. Once again, the Turlock Quarterback Club is proud of their players, from their academics, their leadership accomplishments, to their on-field championships. We would like to thank our community's businesses, individuals, alumni, and families for all their financial support for all of our football teams. Please join us at Latif's every Saturday morning at 8 o'clock a.m. after every football game. You can hear from the players themselves, from all 3 teams, and their coaches. And Benton Roberson CPAs provides personalized tax, accounting, and financial guidance to individuals and businesses throughout Tuolumne and Stanislaus counties. Our team believes in partnering with you and your team to build lasting relationships that help you achieve your financial goals. Give us a call today and experience the Benton Roberson difference. We look forward to hearing from you. So now 4th down. And boy, is it a big one for the Pride of Pitman High School. Turlock's defense has answered the call all year. Can they answer it here on 4th down? LaRosa throws it out to the flat. Will his man get there? It looks like he's going to be short, and by the looks of it, he is, as Turlock will stop Pitman on downs.
Yep, just about 2 yards short there, Keith. Good play, good opportunity, just come up a little short, and that's a big backbreaker for the Pitman Pride.
Romo with the catch. Unfortunately, as he streaked down the sideline, he was bumped out of bounds just short. He tried to give it that extra effort, but to no avail. So now Turlock returns back to the field with their offense. This drive starts at their own 35-yard line. They go up the middle. Lunging forward for a gain of a couple is Frias as he's taken down. In on that stop is Matthew Nissan, number 72.
Called his name quite a few times on the defensive line there. That's a big young boy out there.
Oh, is he ever, Destin Pageant. 5'8", 226 pounds, as Pitman has a big-bodied, big, strong defensive line that has helped them this year thus far. Paisley will go left to Lynn. Lynn breaks one tackle, still going. Dalton Lynn converts the first down and more. He's tackled out of bounds at the 50-yard line.
15-yard gain there for Lynn, and we've seen that play to Lynn 4 or 5 times here in the first half. It's really simple for Paisley, just making a quick little pass right out to the outside. Oh, holding penalty on the Bulldogs.
Yes,
How
indeed.
about that?
And it is a holding penalty, and another penalty flag for Turlock will push them back even farther.
Literally the only thing the Bulldogs are not doing well here in this game is the penalties. And if you would have said, you would have looked at the penalties only and see 120-something yards of penalties to 0, you'd think that the Pitman Pride would be in a good spot here, Keith.
So now this will be 2nd and 20 for Turlock as this football is placed at the 25-yard line. Up the middle again, and busting down the middle is going to be Frias. And that one will get Turlock back to their own 42-yard line as Anthony Frias with another big-time run, and that will make this 3rd down attempt a little easier on the eyes.
Yes, definitely. 3rd and 5, not too bad when you were just sitting at 2nd and 20.
As Turlock will take another timeout here to talk over this 3rd down attempt, and you'd have to wonder what they're going to draw up here. They have been successful throwing the football and obviously running the football in the first half.
On a 3rd and 4, it could go either way. That's one of those where you could run or you could throw. Likely going to see one of those quick passes out to one of the wide receivers or to Dalton Lynn again because they're having such success out there. Other than one holding penalty they got called on a wide receiver on that play, they've done it about 6 times, and they've gotten good gains on every single one of them, including converting a 4th down conversion on one.
Well, when they have passed the football in this first half, when they have thrown the football, they really have utilized those flat routes to Lynn. And then if the flat route isn't there, which in the 2nd touchdown, or the 3rd touchdown, I should say, they pump faked it to Lynn, and Paisley threw it down the right side deep to Baldwin. So they have beaten Pitman throwing the football, different situations, but the same result. They've gotten the job done.
Big play here.
Third down. Paisley. He is sacked in the backfield. And wow, Paisley did not see that one coming, and Paisley did not like the way he was taken to the floor as Avalos, number 34, came through the line of scrimmage and got Paisley to the mat.
Hey, that's the 2nd stop we've seen from the Pitman Pride on the Bulldogs defense here in this quarter. So give them credit. Their defense is really stepping it up a little bit. They're going to force another punting situation here. And Avalos, we've called his name a few times. I like that. That was like a delayed blitz. He didn't go immediately, but he waited for about a second or two, and then he darted right up the gap. As you mentioned, Paisley did not even see him.
Romo and Avalos are set to return this punt. They've got dual punt returners back there near their own 35-yard line. And we're going to get a time out here from Turlock.
Hey, you can't take him into the halftime locker room with you. However, normally we see plenty of timeouts left on the board. Right now, we only got 1 timeout left remaining, and that belongs to the Bulldogs. We've seen quite a few of them called here in this recent few minutes.
So while we have this break in the action, a few more words from our amazing sponsors. American Asphalt. American Asphalt, taking care of business. And FitPro GO, who will be our FitPro GO player of the game. Stay tuned to find out postgame. And the Sonora Conference Center, hourly and daily rentals, the grand opening in downtown Sonora, 222 at Shepherd Street. Welcome back. 4th down as Turlock will punt this one away to the Pride. And it's a direct snap. And it's to Cade Gilbert, who has the first down. And Cade Gilbert streaking down the line. Can he go all the way? He's got a block, and he's in. Touchdown, Turlock. On the direct snap to Cade Gilbert. Holy guacamole and a bowl of raviolis. It's 27-0 Turlock. Oh, my. What a momentum swinger.
Oh, wow, a fake punt, and they give it to the direct back, and it was a 4th and 9. Usually you're not going to see a running play on a fake punt on a 4th and 9, but wow, what a well-designed call from Coach Peterson. And hey, Keith, we see why they called that timeout now. Wow, look at that replay. Cade Gilbert, as you see, takes the hit right at the end of this play. Yeah, still gets it in, doesn't drop the ball.
And great effort by number 34, Christian Cruz, who was out in front of Gilbert to cement a block that helped Gilbert cut back inside.
Looks like they marked him out here on about the 3. Actually, nope. Now there's the points on the scoreboard.
So it is 27-0 after Gilbert takes the direct snap on 4th down and goes 50-plus yards to the house. And now chants of "We Can't Hear You" echoing throughout the stadium. On one side of the field, the blue and yellow for Turlock alive and well. On the other side, the white and green of Pitman, not so much. Extra point, good. And it caps off an amazing direct snap to Mr. Cade Gilbert. 50-plus yards for the touchdown. It is now 28-0, Turlock over Pitman in the 2019 Harvest Bowl on NorCal Sports TV. And while we have this break, I want to thank a couple more of our sponsors. The NorCal Sports TV coming in the summer of 2020. It's the NorCal Sports TV Summer Basketball Camp. Be one of the first 75 to register and get $100 off your tuition. It's to be held at the former location of the Dick Edwards Camp in Sonora, California at the Sierra Outdoor School. Week 1 is our boys camp, June 16th through 20th, 2020. Week 2, girls camp, July 7th through 11th of 2020. Won't that be fun? A nice, great summer camp to learn some tools and tricks of the trade in the game of basketball. We might have to go ourselves.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking when you were reading that off. Like, hey, that's something I want to be at.
I know you like pickup basketball a lot, so that might be something you might have to learn a little something.
I know I might have to teach a little something, Keith.
Oh, okay. I see where you're getting now. Angel keeps this kick on the turf, as that one is picked up around the 37-yard line by Fanotti, number 14 of Pitman.
Great field position here with that little squib kick. And in this last 3 minutes before the half, you'd love to go down and get 7 because the Bulldogs get the ball to start the second half.
They will officially mark this football at the 45 of Pitman. So now 28-0, and as you touched on, Turlock does get the football back after halftime to start the second half. And we're going to get a penalty.
Too many men.
Too many players. Number 9, Stephen Harry.
And a mock cheer from the fans because they finally called the first penalty on the Pitman Pride.
First and 15. LaRosa pitches it out. Ball's on the ground. And Turlock has it.
They're calling it incomplete.
But they will mark it as an incomplete pass.
Whew. That could have been a disaster.
Well, no doubt, Bullock had the football in his grasp. There was no debate about that one. It was going to be picked up by Turlock. You see right here, DeCure was the man who...
Yeah, they're calling that a forward pitch. That's why it was incomplete there.
Well, it was forward, as DeCure could not handle that pitch from LaRosa. Second and 15. LaRosa going to take off. Goes downfield. That pass is incomplete. Intended for Romo.
Almost there. It was a good opportunity there from LaRosa once he got out of the pocket. I like his pocket presence, and then he even pointed to Romo, hey, I'm coming to you, get down the field. But again, the Bulldogs secondary, as you mentioned earlier, they're no slouch either, and they were able to get that one to the ground for an incomplete pass.
Kendall LaRosa, the quarterback for Pitman, has steadily gotten better and better every single week. Lance Eckerly says he has come a long way from the beginning of the season to where he is now. He is a dual threat every time he touches the football. And just to show you how much respect the Turlock defense has for Mr. LaRosa, James Peterson says he's the guy, if we're going to be successful, that we've got to key in on. Pressure coming. LaRosa somehow gets out of it. Now going to take off on his feet. LaRosa out in front as he gets into enemy territory on the scramble, and that could have spelled trouble because LaRosa was dead in the pocket, but he got out of it somehow.
What a play there from LaRosa, and he gets really close to this first down on a 3rd and 15. He's only going to be about a yard short to make it 4th and 1. What a job there. Instead of getting sacked and losing a few yards, he ends up getting a 14-yard gain.
Ball is placed at the Turlock 47. 3:09 to play. Obviously 4th down territory.
They're bringing in the big guns. A lot of big boys on the offensive line. Look for a run up the gut here.
Ball is fumbled on the handoff. There's no doubt about if it's going to be a first down or not. It's not. Turlock stops him. There was a fumble on the handoff. LaRosa and his running back lacking communication on that one. It's a turnover on downs, nonetheless, on the turnover.
Another nightmare there for the Pitman Pride. You only needed a yard, and you're likely going to get it with the run up the gut, but he drops the ball when it was handed off to him. LaRosa gives him good feed there. The running back just dropped it, plain and simple, and once he fell on top of it, was unable to get that 1 yard he needed to gain.
1st and 10 now at the Turlock 47, and they're on offense this time. Under 3 minutes remaining in the first half. They're going to go up the middle. Anthony Frias taken off. Makes one man miss on the juke. And now Anthony Frias turning on the burners. Knocked out of bounds around the Pitman 20-yard line. Anthony Frias, give that man 8 inches of daylight. That's all he needs, to quote a very famous player himself.
Hey, Anthony Frias, you guys want to remember that name at home. He is going to go on to have himself a nice college and maybe further career. He's just a man amongst boys out here when he's on the field. Just some of the stuff he does is absolutely amazing.
Amazing when you consider that Frias is the class president for the class of 2019 for Turlock. They go to the president again. He's inside the 10-yard line with that run. First down.
He's nearing the 100-yard marker himself here in the first half.
And this is the kind of recipe that Turlock uses to win. They get out in front early, and then they go to what got them the lead in the first place, which is that big-time ground and pound running game. They can do it to you with Frias, or they can go outside of the speedster Lynn. One thing is for sure, when you play Turlock, you've got to be able to account for them running the football. Frias makes one man miss. He's gobbled up by a slew of white jerseys. In on that stop, Key Elisaya, number 40.
Great pursuit there for the Pitman Pride defense to stop him hitting his tracks. Actually going to lose a yard there.
So now 2nd and goal. Pitman down 28-0, knowing they cannot allow any further points here. Otherwise, they're going to put themselves in a very, very big hole. And we are officially under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Play action by Paisley. Roll out to the right. To the back of the end zone. But they're going to say that Cruz was out of bounds. David Cruz, the big-time target tight end that Paisley loves, number 85. He was right there. He was open. But his foot was unable to do the tip-tap dance. And he's out of bounds.
Hey, what a play there from Paisley. When he was rolling out, it didn't seem like he had anybody open. But he was able to make that throw to the only spot that his man, nobody else could have gotten to it. Great job there from Paisley, just coming up short of that touchdown by a matter of about an inch on the foot.
So now 3rd and goal. Toss to the left. Frias bounces it out to the outside, but he's taken down out of bounds at around what looks to be the 6 or 7 yard line.
You see the offensive lineman there saying, let's go for it on fourth down, which they've had a lot of success. That's Everett Johnson saying, we want to go. But if you're Peterson and the Bulldogs here, the right move is to take the 3 points. You're already up 28. Take the more points you can here.
Everett Johnson, the 6'7", 320-pound senior offensive lineman. You talk to multiple coaches that work with the offense for Turlock, and they say that Mr. Johnson down there on that left side sets the tone for everything going up front.
No field goal opportunity here. They had the offense out on the field.
And that will be another timeout for Turlock as they will talk this one over. It looked for a minute, like you mentioned, D-Padge. They were going to go for it on 4th and goal, and if you'd have had the success that they have had all night, on offense at least, why wouldn't you? You'd have to like your percentages and your chances.
Right, they've completed all of their 4th down conversions here so far, Keith, and as you mentioned, they've had a lot of success, and another good reason to go for it here is there's only 1 minute left to go in the half. If you don't get it here, you put your team on their own 3-yard line, so why not? You have 28 points, may as well try to add another touchdown on. This is the Harvest Bowl.
And during this Harvest Bowl, we want to thank some of our sponsors. American Asphalt, taking care of business. And by FitPro GO. Who will be our FitPro GO player of the game? Stay tuned post-game to find out. And we are going to have a tough decision to make going towards the end of this second half, barring anything crazy happening for that FitPro GO player of the game. For now, though, it is 4th and goal. And Turlock will not switch it up. Angel is not on the field, so they're going to go for it. Play action. Zips it inside. Passes incomplete. Paisley tried to hook up with Baldwin on the slant route towards the middle of the field, and that one was broken up. Great defensive back coverage by Jonathan Rodriguez, number 12. Turnover on downs. Pitman finally stops Turlock on offense.
Hey, good job there for the Pitman Pride. You could take a little solace into the halftime knowing that, hey, at least you didn't give up that last touchdown, but you're still down by 4 scores, have not scored yet here. With just a minute left to go in the half and you're on your own 3-yard line, I mean, this is a recipe for let's run the ball a couple times and take it into the locker room.
So with 1 minute and 19 seconds in total to play in this first half, Pitman backed up inside their own 5. Slant route is high, intended for DeCure as La Rosa threw it to him over his head, 2nd down. So no signs by the looks of it of Pitman planning on playing it safe and running it into the locker room.
Hey, you got to score 4 touchdowns, so looks like they're going to try to get the ball down the field a little bit here. The only danger you have is if you don't score or if you don't run this clock and you get to a 4th down spot, you're punting out of your end zone, and you don't want to do that to the Bulldogs offense.
2nd and 10. They will run it this time on 2nd and 10, but it goes nowhere, and if anything, they barely made it back to the line of scrimmage. Lost about 1 or 2.
Curious to see is if Bulldogs stop them here if they use their final timeout with about 25, 30 seconds left. Just at least force the punt out of the end zone. Make them have the attempt to do that.
Masihi in on the stop with that tackle. Another guy on this defensive line that James Peterson raves about. Says he's all heart and all soul. And you combine that with his big body, it makes one heck of a football player. And 35 seconds left as Pitman now will proceed to melt the clock and head into the halftime down 4 scores. 3rd and goal as trudging forward was La Rosa. Maybe a gain of about 1 or 2. Jackson in on the stop there.
See if the Bulldogs want to at least force the punt. Doesn't seem like they're going to use that final timeout, Keith.
And that will be, in fact, the last play of the first half to take place. Turlock has dominated on offense, and as a result of that dominance, they are taking a 28-0 advantage into the half against the Pitman Pride in this Harvest Bowl. Second half coming up right after halftime here on NorCal Sports TV. And while we have this break in the half, we want to thank again some of our sponsors. The 2020 NorCal Sports TV Summer Basketball Coming in the summer of 2020, be one of the first 75 to register and get $100 off of your tuition. This camp is to be held at the former location of the Dick Edwards Camp in Sonora, California, at the Sierra Outdoor School. Week 1, it's the boys' camp, June 16th through the 20th of 2020. Week 2, it's the girls' camp, July 7th through the 11th of 2020. A 5-day overnight camp with air-conditioned dorms and prepared meals included. Trainers and coaches from the NBA, college, and high school ranks. All games and events filmed professionally by NorCal Sports TV, allowing for film sessions, video evaluations, and individual highlights. Register with a small deposit of $99 to earn your discount and free personalized jersey upgrade. Learn more and register at www.norcalsportstv.com/camp. And also, while we have this break in the action, since 2014, Turlock High Football has had 11 players go on to play for D1 and D2 college football programs. Also, many Turlock Bulldogs attend Modesto Junior College, where they play and go on to play D1 and D2 college football. Players such as Javon Hogan at Ottawa University in Arizona, Jericho Tamu at San Jose State, Patrick Green, halfback at Northern University, Andy Jennings, defensive lineman at Incarnate Word in Texas, Ronald Charlou, an offensive lineman at UC San Diego, Nicholas Berry, an offensive lineman at Sterling College in Kansas, Danny Velasquez of Valpo University, but now at MJC, Mustafa Johnson, defensive line at Colorado University, Dustin Green from Cal Poly St. Louis Obispo, Garrett Fountain at San Diego, and Everett Johnson, who was committed in 2020 to UC Berkeley. We'll be back with more of the Harvest Bowl right after the half.
Does your protein shake have the real symbol? And how does it taste? Isn't it about time we all got real? Does your protein shake have the real symbol? And how does it taste? Isn't it about time we all got real? Does your protein shake have the real symbol? And how does it taste? Isn't it about time we all got real? Does your protein shake have the real symbol? And how does it taste? Isn't it about time we all got real?
Under 3 minutes remaining in the first half. They're going to go up the middle. Anthony Frias taken off. Makes one man miss on the juke. And now Anthony Frias turning on the burners. Under 3 minutes remaining in the first half. They're going to go up the middle. Anthony Frias taken off. Makes one man miss on the juke. And now Anthony Frias turning on the burners. Under 3 minutes remaining in the first half. They're going to go up the middle. Anthony Frias taken off. Makes one man miss on the juke. And now Anthony Frias turning on the burners.
Finally called the first penalty on the Pitman Pride.
We welcome you back to Joe Debley Stadium, named after the winningest head football coach in Turlock history, and that is a very strong feat considering they've been playing football here at Turlock High School for over 100 years. Keith Jogonatis, Dustin Paget on the call with you tonight. 28-0 is the score at halftime. The Turlock Bulldogs leading the Pitman Pride 28-0. And Dustin Paget, it really has been a story of Turlock's offense doing what they want whenever they want. They were stopped on downs near the goal line on their last drive. But other than that, they have played nearly, despite the penalties, a picture-perfect football game.
Oh, yeah, you nailed that on the head there, Keith. In the first half, they had over 150 yards of penalties, but somehow are still holding the 28-0 lead. Well, they did that because they've been dominating both sides of the football. Offensively, 4 touchdowns scored. They've had a little bit of everything. They're throwing the ball down the field. They had a fake punt for a 56-yard touchdown run for Cade Gilbert. That might have been one of the best plays we've seen all season long. All they did was give it to the up back, and somehow he took it down the field. They've really done everything offensively and defensively that you could have asked for. Coach Peterson has to be happy going into the second half. And if I was Coach Peterson, probably the only thing that I'm focused on here in the second half is not getting anybody hurt, because playoffs are looming. You got a 4-touchdown lead, likely going to come out on top here today. So focus on no injuries, finishing off this game strong. If you're the Pitman Pride, you just want to show some pride here, maybe score a couple touchdowns in the second half, make it a respectable finish.
On the flip side, for the Pitman Pride offensively, while they did make strides towards the end of the second half, they have struggled with turnovers and just an inability to get the ball downfield. What do they have to do in the second half if they're going to have any chance of making a comeback in this one?
Well, it's going to start with the defensive side. As we know, the Bulldogs deferred the opening kick, and now they're going to get the ball to start the second half. So if you're the Pitman Pride, the last thing you want to do here is give up a touchdown on your opening drive. So if they can come out and get a stop, maybe go down and score some points, Keith, that'll give them a little bit of an opportunity moving forward here for the rest of this game to make it more respectable. But as far as making a comeback and a victory here in this Harvest Bowl, if you're the Pitman Pride, there are not very many recipes here in the second half that are going to cover that for you. You're going to have to play absolutely perfect and then some.
And while we have this break here at halftime, we want to say thank you to each and every single one of you who has been watching tonight on our live stream. We know this is a highly contested rivalry every single year, and so if you couldn't get a ticket in here, we want to say thank each and every 100+ of you who are watching with us here at NorCal Sports TV. We are very appreciative.
Yeah, definitely, Keith. We want to thank all the fans back at home, all my friends and family. I thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it very much. It means a lot to me. And for those of you, as he said, who couldn't make it in ticket-wise, we understand. It's sold out here tonight, folks. They were not letting anybody in before this match to buy tickets. So not something you typically see in a high school environment. Hey, and one thing I want to point out, look at the Pitman Pride stands. They have lost some, but not very many, Keith. They might have lost maybe 30, 40 people, but they're still out there in full force, even though their team is down 28-0. You'll want to give the props to the Pitman Pride's fan base for sticking it out here with them on the Harvest Bowl, even though they're having a rough season.
And whether you are a Pitman Pride fanatic or a Turlock Bulldog diehard fan, some information on the CIF 2019 Sac Joaquin Section Playoff Show. It'll be Sunday at the scheduled time of 2 p.m. on the NFHS network. So for those of you who are interested in seeing where the Turlock Bulldogs might be in the playoffs, and if Pitman were to complete the comeback and possibly have a chance of being that last team in the tournament, you will go to the NFHS network and they will have the selection show Sunday. And partner, I cannot wait to see how those brackets are going to turn out. There are going to be some very interesting games with some very interesting seeding, given all the great talent we have this year.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be on that committee. I tell you that wholeheartedly, Keith. And selection show for the high school, I love that. Never heard of it. I'm going to have to tune in for that. Something cool out here in the stands for the halftime. They're tossing out mini footballs over here to the Turlock Bulldogs fans, Keith. And you know what? They're not just giving away a few of them. I've seen about 50 or 60 of them being thrown in the air here. So that's a pretty cool little thing that they're doing for the fan base here, for the Bulldogs in the Harvest Bowl.
And no doubt this game holds merit on account of Pitman holding the lead in this rivalry 8-7. And if Turlock is able to complete the win tonight, it would tie this rivalry at a combined 8 wins shared by both teams. And obviously, these are two teams that last year, the CCAL Conference, its first ever year of inclusion into the Northern California high school football scene. Last year, Turlock beating Pitman 33-0, ruining their perfect season. and winning the first ever CCAL championship. Turlock has yet to lose a CCAL game, and it just really puts it into perspective how far this program has come. 8 years ago, they were not as productive as they are now, and I talked to head coach James Peterson. I said, you know, when you were not winning the way you are accustomed to at Turlock, with the prestige and the history that comes with this program, what did you keep telling yourself to keep going? He said, I kept reminding myself of what it was like when we were at the top, knowing that we could get back there with hard work and perseverance. And safe to say, James Peterson has done a heck of a job with this team. On the flip side, Lance Eckerly, he will always do the same with his Pitman High Pride. These are two programs that, no doubt, in the next couple of years, with the talent in the area, they will see each other multiple times for multiple outcomes to decide who wins the CCAL championship.
Oh, definitely. This Harvest Bowl is 16 years running, and I'm sure there's going to be 16 more years here, Keith. It's a very good environment, and I know the city of Turlock loves this. They've got everybody out here. I don't see this Harvest Bowl disappearing anytime soon. So you folks at home, remember in the near future next year, come out this time again, around this time of year, and you're going to be able to check out this game here. Whether it's on NorCal Sports or not, it's still going to be running.
Still going strong, and we are going now to start this second half off. 28-0, Bulldogs over the Pride, as the Pride, who were given the opportunity to take the football first to start the game, now will have to kick it off to Turlock. And this first drive could very well determine the outcome going forward. If you're Pitman, you've got to get a stop, you got to get the ball back, and you finally got to get some points on the scoreboard.
Definitely, Keith. That's what you need to see from them here in this first couple of drives, to stop and a score. Otherwise, moving forward, this going to leave them little opportunity to come back in this one.
It's going to be an onside kick, easily taken by Turlock. Interesting call there, as Delay, number 32, the kicker, gave it right to the Bulldogs.
I don't mind the idea for the trickeration. You're down 28-0. That's a good plan, but it wasn't executed very well. That ball was kicked right at the Turlock Bulldogs defender, and he didn't have to do anything. There wasn't any goofy bounces or anything. It was just seemingly a really easy ball to catch, and that's going to put them right at midfield.
So this drive, the first one for the Bulldogs, will start at their own 47-yard line on 1st and 10. The give is to Frias, who is tackled in the backfield. And that was some great defensive work there by Pitman, so they're off to a good start. Jonathan Stout, number 28, the linebacker, the senior, with the tackle.
Hey, and we've seen quite a few of those nice tackles from the Pitman Pride. They definitely have good form tackling, and that ball nailed him right in the backfield there for the 3-yard loss. Great start there for the Pride.
So that is the kind of play to start this second half that Pitman needs, with a lot of energy and a lot of heart, as Turlock now will go on second and long. They go to Frias again. He'll bounce it out to the outside, and he is taken down once again. And that is another great play by this Pitman defense, as Romo, number 20, makes the stop.
Yeah, Sergio Romo getting in. Job done there. 2 straight plays on the run. Nothing doing there for the Bulldogs. That would have been one of those where I wanted to see Paisley audible again, because, again, we had the same situation on the outside with the receiver. Defender was playing about 15 yards back, and that leaves you wide open for an easy short pass there, but Paisley did not see that one.
3rd and 12. Paisley, plenty of time, all the time in the world, uncorks the deep ball, almost intercepted, incomplete. The Turlock faithful clamoring for a flag, and they won't get it. Paisley cannot get that one downfield to be completed. It's 4th and 12.
Great job for the Pride defense, but if you're Larry Romero there, the defender, you would have loved to intercept that ball. Went right through his hands. You're still going to get the punt, probably in the same field position, so it's going to kind of turn out to be the same thing, but I know he would have loved to have another opportunity at that one.
Romero, the junior defensive back, had a golden opportunity potentially to intercept that football. It just slipped out of his grasp. But nonetheless, they do their job, the Pride of Pitman, and they get Turlock on an early 3rd and out. Angel boots this one inside the 20. Avalos down the right side. Avalos still going. Now turning it upfield as he's knocked out of bounds around the 44-yard line.
A 27-yard return there for Avalos. Very good. That's the first time we've seen the special teams for the Pitman Pride make a play.
So, if this was a chance for Pitman to say, give me your picture-perfect start, they've had it so far. They get a 3-and-out, and then Avalos on the punt return gives them good field position to start their first drive of the second half.
Exactly. That's what the doctor ordered, but now they got to go down and get these 58 yards and get in.
They go up the middle, and that one is stopped in the backfield, and right there was number 59, Jacob Masihi, the big anchor on that defensive line that has caused havoc all year long in the Central California high school football scene.
Got to lose 2 yards there, and that's not the recipe you want to dial up. It may be a time to almost abandon the run altogether here. Give La Rosa a chance to throw the ball down the field. You're down by 4 scores. Running the ball up the middle is just not going to cut it right now.
2nd and 12. Play action. La Rosa had no choice but to throw that one away as the entire left side of the defensive line was coming. Rogers, number 14, who had 2 sacks in the first half.
It's going to be grounding. They threw the flag. There was nobody in the area, and he was just close, not outside the pocket. It was very close. They were talking about it, whether to throw the flag or not, and they did throw it.
So we'll get a confirmation here from the officials, and it is intentional grounding.
That's a killer. That's going to be a loss of down as well. That's one of the very few penalties in the game of football that you lose the down on. Ineligible pass downfield is also one of those, but that's going to bring up a 3rd and a mile.
So now 3rd and way long. A 3rd down conversion that was tough enough for a Pitman offense that has not been able to get going so far in this game. Just got even tougher. La Rosa, pressure coming. Steps up, now going to take off and run. Tries to throw it at the last minute, incomplete.
Almost intercepted over there. He threw it right into the hands of the Bulldogs defender on the sideline. He was just trying to throw it away. That was Vinicio Gasca there. That would have been a disaster. He was really just trying to get rid of the ball and didn't see Gasca lurking on the sideline.
Gasca, who in the last couple of weeks on the back end of this schedule for the Bulldogs has been dealing with a nagging turf toe injury, but he has gotten better and better as the weeks have gone on. Coach Peterson says he's completely fine. And you saw it right there with his ability, with that speed, to get to the quarterback. Sky-high punt. And this ball will roll forward to the dismay of Evan Keeley and Harry Stephen, who downed it there. And that ball will start in Pitman territory.
That came just a matter of millimeters away from clipping Frias on the back, and that could have been a big fumble opportunity there for the Pitman Pride. But the Bulldogs get away with that one there. Now they're going to get great field position here on plus side.
They go up the middle to Gonzalez, and there is Josiah Gonzalez with his first carry of the contest. Gonzalez, who in substitution for Frias, who injured himself against Downey on the literally first play of scrimmage in the football game, was cleared by the doctors that night, but Gonzalez, who had multiple rushing touchdowns, gave another extra weapon for James Peterson to use in his offense. It's worked out so far. Now they go back to Frias. Anthony Frias cuts it out to the right side. He's tackled at around the 35-yard line by Landon Magina, number 11, the junior defensive back. But nonetheless, Magina can't get there in time before Frias converts it to another first down.
Good tackle there. Could have been saved a lot larger of a game. But again, as you mentioned, first down there for Frias. Now he is over 100 yards here on this game on the ground. Keith having a game is Frias.
8:43 to play in the third quarter. Ball at the Pitman 35. Frias up the middle. He's stopped as he gets back to the line of scrimmage. That tackle made by number 44, El Rey Davoud.
And what I've seen here from Coach Peterson here in the second half with this play calling is exactly what I was expecting heading into this half. They're trying to minimize damage, any injuries, anything like that. They're trying to just manage the clock. They've ran it on every play except for one. So they've had 7 plays here in the second half. They've ran it every single time but one.
Paisley on the run. Gonna take it himself. He gets close to that first down marker. Tackled it around the Pitman 29-yard line for about a gain of 6.
Nice tackle there from Romo to stop him short. It's going to bring up a 3rd down, but where you're at on the field to get into that dead man's land I was talking about earlier, right between the 30 and the 40-ish, you're not going to kick a field goal from this long, and you're not going to be able to punt it here, so this really is 4-down territory. So the Bulldogs, knowing that, got 2 plays to get this 4 yards. Keith.
It'll be 3rd and 4 for the Bulldogs. They go to Frias. Has the first down. Anthony Frias stopped it around the 21-yard line.
Frias jumps there for the first down almost down the field. He looks like when he jumped, got him about 3 yards. He's so athletic, is Frias.
This offensive performance by Turlock coming on the heels of a 25-13 victory against Grigori, in which they did not score at all in the second half. James Peterson said, "We were a little out of sync last week." They have not been out of sync tonight. That is safe to say. 3 wideouts to the left. Cruz, the tight end, the lone man on the right. It's a pitch out. Frias can't hold on to it, and the ball is on the ground, and it looks like Pitman has it.
They do, Keith. Huge
They do.
recovery.
Pitman gets the football on the fumble by Frias. You see right here, Dustin Pageant. Some miscommunication there by the quarterback and his running back.
A little bit low of a pitch there. Frias was unable to get it. That is a huge play there for the Pitman Pride. The Bulldogs were running down the field looking like they were going to go in for another 7 running clock as they wanted to do. But, hey, the Pitman Pride got themselves a little bit of a momentum burst here. Let's see if they can go down and get that first points of the game here for them.
So Pitman gets their first turnover of the football game at the 6:45 mark in the third quarter. But now the big question, can they turn this turnover into points? They desperately need to. Play action. LaRosa, downfield, intercepted. Cade Gilbert has it. As Gilbert is viciously taken to the grass, but nonetheless, while there's no flag called, Gilbert intercepts the pass. What a big-time play by Gilbert.
After the interception, it looks like I think it was a holding penalty. They threw it in the backfield back here. Either a hold or an illegal block in the back. As you see right here on the interception, the guy gets crushed right there. It's going to be a block in the back.
Well, by penalty, what I was trying to get at is that Gilbert thought that when he got taken down, it might have been unnecessary roughness or things of that nature. Nonetheless, there is a penalty, but the way Gilbert got taken down, he kind of popped up thinking, maybe there was going to be a flag called. No flag called on that one.
No, not on that part of the play. It's going to be a block in the back, but you know what? For the Bulldogs' sake, they'll take that penalty. They don't mind because they got the interception. Gilbert having himself a game after that fake punt that he was able to get down for a touchdown. What a pick there from Gilbert.
Cade Gilbert, who has been used in the offense as another kind of, you want to say, speedster player, sort of the way they utilize Dalton Lynn. So, fumble, and then Turlock gets it right back. They go up the middle again, right up the gut. This one to Lynn for a gain of about 4, and Turlock obviously will be in the playoffs. That is for sure, and it just seems like the only thing that could potentially stop this team is the penalties. Everything else they have gotten under control. They are a fine-tuned machine going into the postseason.
Oh, yeah, they're playing their best football of the year this last 4 weeks of the season, Keith, and as you mentioned, fine-tuned machine. They're going to be a team to look out for here this year in the playoffs.
Paisley going to unleash the deep ball down the right side. Pena's got it at the 30. Tackled inside the 20. Miguel Pena. Tackle by Rodriguez on Pena. but not before Pena goes right down Broad Street on that right sideline. Paisley finds him. They hook up for a big-time play.
The first play we've seen all half where they weren't playing conservative. They decided to go deep, and it was the right time for Paisley and Coach Peterson to do so. Give Rodriguez credit for making the tackle there, not letting him get in for the touchdown, but that's going to be a 43-yard gain down the field.
So now Turlock once again under 6 minutes. As Turlock looking to seal the deal here with a potential touchdown. Frias goes left side. Cuts it back out. Still going, taken down and around the 10-yard line. Anthony Frias continues to motor, continues to chug along, and as that tackle is made by Elisaya, number 40. Got another flag on the play here.
Holding.
It's going to be holding on the Bulldogs, another penalty, and we talk about Anthony Frias, obviously had the injury, but then last week injured his shoulder. And then I asked James Peterson about the injury. I said, how much are you going to utilize Anthony if need be? He said, hey, he was in practice, and he trucked one of our defenders going full speed. And they were kind of in disbelief because they were like, they didn't think Anthony was injured, but they didn't expect Anthony to go 100% out in practice, and he did. Ran right over the defense. Frias again. Still going. Still on his feet. And he's near the 15-yard line. And getting back to Turlock here, D-Pads. As we mentioned, these last couple of weeks, with the winning streak and things of that nature, you ask the staff, how do you keep motivating these guys? Obviously, with the way social media is and the Turlock football fever, it's easy for guys to get, I guess you could say big-headed or maybe just, ahead of themselves. He says, no, I haven't had to do that. These guys are focused, they're locked in, and our message is one play at a time.
And they've been doing that very well in this second half. They're really working the clock to perfection, trying to keep these guys healthy, moving forward.
Frias breaks one, breaks another, dives for the end zone, and he's in. Touchdown, Turlock Bulldogs.
He actually fumbled the ball into the end zone and recovers it in the end zone for the touchdown, Keith. As you see on the replay here, they knocked it away from him when he was sticking it out to the pylon. But Frias, with the heads-up mind to get on top of that ball in the end zone, it could have been a touchback. Instead, Frias is able to get on top of it in front of the defenders. How about that for a touchdown? Full-on effort there for Frias.
The presence of mind to dive for the goal line, and then the presence of mind to get back up and hop on the football. You talk about working overtime. The class president, Anthony Frias, in the end zone again. It's a fake. They're going to snap it right to Lynn. Lynn loses the football as he launches out for the pylon, and that two-point conversion is no good as Dalton Lynn with a direct snap. They tried a similar one to Cade Gilbert on a fourth down attempt. It went all the way for a 50-plus yard touchdown run. This time, no good, however.
And I can tell you folks at home, for you guys curious, wondering, why would they go for two here up 34-0? Well, I can tell you exactly why. We're heading into the playoffs, and this is a perfect time for Coach Peterson to work on his whole playbook. He's opening it up and allowing his team to say, hey, let's try everything we've got. They may need that in the playoffs, down by a point at the end of the game. You're going to go for a two-point conversion. Now you've got some repetition in live game action doing so. That's not the Bulldogs trying to pour on points, folks. That's them working on a play merely.
And you talk about Turlock and more in depth with James Peterson's thinking of this football team. Their motto is, we're going to fight till midnight. And I asked him, Coach, why do you ask him to say we're going to fight till midnight? He says, because I've never been in a high school football game that went past midnight.
That is very true, Keith. Even the ones that run late, even if you're getting into overtime. I had one a few weeks ago. Argonaut and Sonora went 0-0 into overtime, and they played a few possessions into that overtime as well. But again, you're just never going to see a game go past midnight. These young boys, they're still in high school, so got to get them home and in bed and rested up.
Angel blasts this one away. And returning this one to around the 15-yard line is Avalos. Taken down exactly at the 15-yard line. And so now up 34-0 with 4:28 to play in the third quarter. You talk about this Pitman football team. I guess you could call it a rebuilding process. Last year almost came within one game of winning the C-Cal championship, and this year obviously has not gone the way they have wanted, but they have played a tough non-conference, non-league schedule in the process of that. Lincoln of Stockton, Marin Catholic, Bullard, to name a couple. They go up the middle. Nothing there. Tackle made by Masihi.
Yeah, Masihi all over the field out there. Big man is Masihi.
Yes, and just to touch on a little more of this out-of-league schedule for Pitman, as we mentioned, Lincoln of Stockton, Marin Catholic, Bullard, Clovis North. All four of those teams ranked in the top 126 of California. You want to talk about giving yourself a challenge, obviously, that is a way to do it, and they're going to be back. I think they're on their way where they need to go. Coach Eckerly, he's got them going in the right direction.
Yeah, they got to finish off this game as good as possible, though. You want to get some points on the board here.
La Rosa wanted to pitch it out to somebody, but there was nowhere to go as Masihi was involved on that one, as well as number 11, Ashton Bockham.
Going to bring up 3rd and a mile here. It's two plays, 2 losses there for the Pitman Pride.
What can you say about this Turlock defense? They've gotten better and better as the weeks have gone on, and you know better than anybody in postseason play, if you've got a great defense, especially up front on the defensive line, you've got a recipe to make some noise.
Hey, what can I say about their defense? I would not want to be the opposing team moving forward playing against them. They're so hard to do anything on. Run, throw, does not matter. You have to really dial up some trickeration to hope that you can get something going up, because at the end of the day, the Bulldogs defense just stops everything, Keith.
Under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. 3rd and long. La Rosa goes up the middle, but he is stopped way short of the first down marker by Bullock, number 5. And as you touched on it, this has not been an easy gauntlet for Turlock these last 4 or 5 weeks. It has been a situation where everyone thinks we've got a chance to beat Turlock. We know we can do it. But when you play them, it's such a different ball game with the amount of talent they have on both offense and defense, and the special teams tonight has been fantastic.
Yes, they've done just about everything right, minus the penalties, as we mentioned. They're near the 200-yard marker for penalties, which is something, frankly, you don't ever see. But, the scoreboard is in their favor, so it doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
As Keeley unable to get the snap, and Turlock will stop that one no problem, as the punter, I should say, Keeley, unable to get the snap there, and it was a recipe doomed for disaster from the start of that one.
And now the Bulldogs starting it in the red zone here on about the 18-yard line here, Keith, and tough for the Pitman Pride. All they were trying to do was just punt that ball away, unable to do so.
Under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter here. It's 34-0 Turlock over Pitman on NorCal Sports TV from the 16th annual Harvest Bowl. So now we will see with this game likely, I guess you could say likely the outcome is at this point, barring anything crazy, Turlock's going to win this game. Now we get to see what James Peterson's going to want to work on with this team going into the postseason, as Lynn in at quarterback as he's tackled after a gain of about 1 or 2. And as you remember, Dalton Lynn, Brock Paisley did not play a couple of weeks back. That sprained ankle bothering him. And Dalton Lynn, who actually was the junior varsity starting quarterback, Brock Paisley was his backup. And now the roles reversed. But Dalton Lynn, a couple of weeks ago, he showed us what he could do with his legs and throwing the football. He was magnificent.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. He was our FitGo Pro Player of the Game that game, and he had one of the best plays I've seen quite some time in high school football, where he took about a 60-yard quarterback run to the outside to the house, and it was just it was a run that had a little bit of everything in it.
2nd down. Low snap. Lynn will keep it himself. Flag on the play as Lynn breaks a couple of tackles, spinning into the end zone. Ball came out, it looks like, as that one is taken with Pitman recovering it. Hold on, as we've got a flag on the play as Lynn.
Touchback they're calling.
Trying to dive in. They are calling it a touchback for the time being, but we got to wait and see what this flag on the play is about. A lot to digest in this one.
It looked like it was a hold, but let's see what they have to say. Chop block.
Chop block on Turlock.
So the second turnover here in the second half here for the Pitman Pride that they forced, so that's a little bit of something that they could take solace in here. They haven't really done anything offensively, but they forced 2 fumbles here in the third quarter.
So the second turnover forced by Pitman as Lynn, who looked like he was about to go his way into the end zone on that play, coughs up the football, and Pitman will take over now after the chop block at their own 20-yard line. So this defense for Pitman, they're hanging in there with under a minute to go in the third quarter. That
was similar to the Frias fumble on the very last drive that they were able to recover in the end zone. So this time the Pitman Pride were able to jump on top of it.
They go up the middle there for the ability to maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. Loss of 1, they're going to call it. 2nd and 11. Pitman, after 9 games this year, has been outscored 317 to 102 and averaged at 11.3 points per game while allowing 35.2 points per game in the process.
Might be our last play of the quarter here, Keith.
They're going to go up the middle as that one will go for a gain of about what looks to be 4, maybe 5. And that will most likely, as you touched on at D-Patch, be the final play of the third quarter. Luna on the carry. That will do it for the third quarter. 3 in the books. 1 more to play at the 16th Annual Harvest Bowl here at Joe Debeley Stadium. Turlock comfortably out in front, 34-0 against Pitman on NorCal Sports TV. And while we have it, thanks to our sponsors while we were at the Turlock Quarterback Club, the Turlock Bulldogs Quarterback Club is proud of their players. From their academics to their leadership accomplishments to their on-field championships. We would like to thank our community's businesses, individuals, alumni, and families for all of their financial support for all of our football teams. Please join us at Latif's every Saturday morning at 8 o'clock a.m. sharp after every football game, where you can hear from the players themselves from all 3 teams and their coaches. And Benton Roberson CPAs. Benton Roberson CPAs provides personalized tax, accounting, and financial guidance to individuals and businesses throughout Tuolumne and Stanislaus counties. Our team believes in partnering with you and your team to build lasting relationships that help you achieve your financial goals. Give us a call today and experience the Benton Roberson difference. We look forward to hearing from you. Welcome back. NorCal Sports TV live from the 16th Annual Harvest Bowl. 1 full quarter of high school football left to play. The advantage to the Bulldogs of Turlock out in front 34-0 over their rivals, the Pitman Pride. It's a throw on the outside. They're going to say pass is incomplete. Aiden DeCure was the targeted receiver on that one. Tyson Weatherby, number 18, was charging along, as well as number 19, Kyle Rumeyer, who had a touchdown a couple of weeks back for the Bulldogs.
That's going to bring up a 4th down and a likely punting situation here again, Keith. And the last one was a disaster. Let's see if they're able to right the ship on the punting here.
As in the last punt, it was Keeley who could not handle the snap. And as a result, it gave Turlock great field position. However, as Lynn tried to go in and convert that fumble, I guess you could say, into a touchdown, knocked out of his hands, ruled a touchback.
Congratulations to Taylor Anastasio, who knew the score was 35-6. 35, 6. Tonight's JV football game.
That punt is high and not very long, as it will have a little backspin on it, and it'll be downed at the Pitman Pride 46. And obviously in a rivalry game like this, Dustin Paget, with a lot of bragging rights, for 364 days, barring anything crazy, Turlock will have another consecutive win against Pitman. It's great when you get a win over your rival. It's even sweeter when it adds to a long consecutive streak of wins against your rival.
Right. This will be, 6 in a row now, and they're 5 in a row now, and that'll make it 8-8 overall. But with 5 in a row, at one point, Keith, this was a 3-8 situation for the Bulldogs in the Harvest Bowl. This is something that Pitman Pride had dominated for the first decade. Now, all of a sudden, the roles have reversed. This decade has been all about the Turlock Bulldogs, and we actually have a very similar score and game as we had last season in this Harvest Bowl. It was 33-0 final. We've got a 34-0 game here, Keith, almost like a rinse, wash, and repeat.
As this drive for Turlock will take over at the 46-yard line, and they will try to run as much clock as possible as Lynn with the snap. Lynn still going, cuts it inside. He'll get to around the Pitman Pride 41-yard line.
And
tackles made by Romo there.
And they did, once it's a 30-point deficit heading into the fourth quarter, that's when the rolling clock begins to start. We get a late flag called here, but as of this quarter, we just started the rolling clock, so this one will be picking a pace up.
Penalty on the play.
Unsportsmanlike.
And it's on Turlock, and we'll touch on this penalty situation in a minute here as we have this break as they'll move the football back. Turlock has 34 total points, but over 200 yards in total penalties. And that is impressive in itself when you think about how many times Turlock has shot themselves in the foot with these kinds of penalties. Obviously, you know, the refs, they're not going to call everyone right, so, you know, take it for what you will, but at the same time, it's amazing. They've scored 34 points, and they have over 200 yards in penalties.
Yeah, I can't recall the last football game I witnessed that had that many penalty yards for one team. It's been something else, but hey, the scoreboard's on their side, you know, so what can you say about it other than the fact that
Gonzalez fumbles the football, and Pitman might have another one.
I think they do, Keith. We'll wait for the official word, but I think they've got it. They're running off the field excited.
And they do. Pitman with another fumble recovery, the third one of the second half for Turlock. Man, turnovers and penalties, it has not been a cookie-cutter, picture-perfect second half for Turlock.
No, definitely not, Keith, but the one thing that they wanted to do, I'm sure that Coach Peterson wanted to do, was refrain from any injuries, and we haven't seen any of that here in the second half. They've been running the ball a lot. You know, at the end of the day, whether you win by 35, 45, 55, 25, does not matter. They just want to get a victory. They realize that that's well in place right now. There's nothing to worry about, no combination of plays that can happen here that's going to take that victory away from you. So, you know, those fumbles, they're hurtful. Peterson's not going to be happy about it, but, you know, I think his main focus right now, Keith, is just to finish off this 10 minutes, have nobody hurt moving forward for the playoffs.
And they'll try to do just that. This drive starts at the Pitman 40. It's a toss out to the left to Lindo, and it will go for a loss of about 2 or 3. And getting back to that, this is the second week in a row now that the Turlock offense, I guess you can say, has faltered. They at least got better as there is a Pitman player injured on the field. And we will wait to see who that is. And I believe it is Julian Lindo, the senior running back, by the looks of it. And while we have this break in the action, we will thank some of our sponsors. American Asphalt taking care of business. And FitPro GO, who will be our FitPro GO player of the game. Stay tuned to find out. And the Sonora Conference Center with hourly and daily rental rooms. The grand opening in downtown Sonora, 222 S. Separate Street in Sonora, California. Go to sonoraconferencecenter.com or call 833-247-MEET. And Benton Roberson CPA is providing quality, personalized financial guidance to local individuals and businesses. Come visit us at 2853 Gear Road, Suite A in Turlock. And Willie's Pizza and Wings. Willie's Pizza and Wings, it's a family thing. And, of course, coming in the summer of 2020, it is the NorCal SportsTV Summer Basketball Camp. Be one of the first 75 to register for our camp and get $100 off your tuition. This camp will be held at the former location of the Dick Edwards Camp in Sonora, California at the Sierra Outdoor School. Week 1, it's the boys' camp, June 16th through 20th of 2020. The girls' camp in Week 2, July 7th through 11th of 2020. 5-day overnight camp with air-conditioned dorms and prepared meals included. Welcome back. Keith Jogonanis, Dustin Paget, 34-0 at the 10-10 mark in the fourth quarter as Turlock comfortably out in front, looking for win number 8 to tie this rivalry all-time record at 8 wins apiece.
Rolling clock back going again.
As we are officially under 10 minutes on 2nd and long for the Pride. They go up the middle. They fake the jet sweep. This will get them back to the 40-yard line. It'll be 3rd and about 10 now, maybe 3rd and 9. And you talk about Pitman for the first half of this rivalry, as you mentioned, Destin Paget, they were on top. And then I talked to James Peterson. He said, you know, there was a time where we weren't always winning the league. And Pitman was the top dog, so we had to go and try to knock them off. And now that they're on top, we know the feeling. So we know that they're coming. It's on us to get better and stay on top. La Rosa, plenty of time. Now going to tuck it and run. La Rosa has the first down and more. La Rosa still going. He's inside Turlock territory. Another yellow flag on the field as Jaden Jackson, number 44, popped up and said, where was the flag at? For the time being, La Rosa tackled at the Turlock 35. We'll see right here.
Yeah, they're looking for a flag here in the backfield on this block. They didn't get that block in the back, but they're going to get that one instead. Like you hear the fans yell, and they missed another one, and they very well did.
And that one is on Pitman indeed.
Huh.
And even though they do get the penalty call, much to the dismay of not getting the first block in the back, the Turlock faithful, supposed to say, they are not pleased whatsoever.
No, definitely not. You've heard the fans here been quite critical of the officials here tonight, you know, being that they've called over 200 yards and penalties on these Bulldogs, but that one will be a backbreaker for the Pitman Pride in what was actually, Keith, their longest play of the game.
Indeed it was, as La Rosa couldn't find anybody downfield. As this ball will be placed now at the 44-yard line of the Pride with 9:02 remaining in the fourth quarter. La Rosa in the shotgun, 3 wideouts to the left. Gonna fire it left side. This one caught by Avalos. Chris Avalos still going, pushed out of bounds, and as he was pushed out of bounds, they inched him a little further down the field. 1st and 10 for the Pride.
Good play there for them. They needed that first down, and they would love to get a touchdown here before this game ends.
So they are back in Turlock territory. They thought they were going to be in Turlock territory after La Rosa's big scramble out of the pocket. The block in the back hindered that run. The throw to Avalos, no penalty there. La Rosa has time. Scrambles to his right. Takes off and runs again. And he is taken out of bounds viciously. What a big-time tackle by number 19, Kyle Rumeyer, as Rumeyer sent La Rosa for a ride.
Yeah, he nailed him on that one. They got about 2nd and 5 here. And on the 32 here, Keith, they've got a chance. They're trying to get into the end zone.
We will go under 8 minutes officially after this play. 2nd and 4 is the official call, as Pitman trying to put some points on the board here in front of their visiting crowd, which traveled with them. La Rosa looking left. Gonna take off and run again. Inside the 25. And he's knocked out of bounds by Gilberto Vega on the right sideline, but La Rosa using his feet. He shows you how deadly he can be, Dustin Paget, when he takes off and runs.
Yeah, we've seen 2 or 3 plays here on this drive where he's done just that. And begin to wonder why he wasn't doing a little bit more of that the rest of this game. They haven't really had much running from the running back, and he hasn't had many completions down the field. That seemingly has been their best offense, him running.
1st and 10. Jet sweep to Romo. Romo still going as he's near the first down marker at around the 10-yard line for a pickup of at least 8 on that one. Jaden Jackson on the tackle. Jaden Jackson, the heart and soul of this defense. James Peterson says, I trust Jaden to get these defensive guys on that side of the football in line. He is the ultimate leader And everyone you talk to says Jaden Jackson has enough heart to go around for everybody on this team, not just the defense.
Oh, yeah, Jaden Jackson, we've called his name all season long in Turlock Bulldogs games. He's all over the place on the defensive side, Keith. That young man will be playing college football somewhere.
We are officially under 7 minutes. They fake the jet sweep. It's a throw near the goal line as that pass is caught at around the 1 or 2 yard line, and a great play there by Stephen Harry, number 9.
Also, a great play from LaRosa to get it to him. He was being pressured right there in the backfield, was able to get rid of it just in time to get that completion.
So now it'll be 1st and goal now as Pitman knocking on the door of Turlock's goal line. We're going to get a timeout for Pitman here as they will look to talk this over with 6:31 to play. And so Pitman, obviously the closest they've gotten to Turlock's goal line all night, and you would just like to see them punch one in for the visiting crowd that traveled with their pride.
I believe everybody here in the stadium, except for the Bulldogs fans and Bulldogs, would love to see the Pitman Pride get one in there for a touchdown, Keith.
minus the Turlock faithful, that is.
Yes, minus that.
I don't think they'd like to see that, but
But yes, you do want to see, I mean, from our perspective, we would love to see them showing some life here. And you still got 6 minutes left. I mean, that's enough time to score another, one more time even, you know. If they can make this a 34-14 finish, that'd be nice.
While we have this break, would like to once again thank each and every one of you who have joined us on the live stream tonight. You have been amazing. You have been commenting with your thoughts and opinions on the game, and that's what makes it fun here at NorCal Sports TV. We can't thank you enough. And hopefully you'll join us for future broadcasts, and we'll hear from you soon. Here we go. They're going to go up the middle, left side, and it's finally a touchdown for the Pitman Pride as Chris Avalos gets the football and takes it in.
And listen to them roar over there for that fan base. I would love to see it. Like I said at halftime, they didn't leave. They've had a few more people leave, but got it in there.
And it came at a price as it looks like number 65, Chris Engen, is down on the field. Engen, a junior offensive lineman near the goal line as Avalos puts it in for Pitman, and they're finally on the board. It's now 34-6 as we wait to see what they'll do on the extra PAT or the possible 2-point conversion. And we will take a break as they tend to Engen. Some of our sponsors we'd like to thank as well. American Asphalt, taking care of business. And FitPro GO. Who will be our FitPro GO player of the game? Stay tuned to find out. And the Sonora Conference Center. Hourly and daily rentals. The grand opening in downtown Sonora at 222 S. Shepherd Street. SonoraConferenceCenter.com. Call them at 833-247-MEET. And, of course, Benton Roberson CPAs provides personalized tax, accounting, and financial guidance to individuals and businesses throughout Tuolumne and Stanislaus counties. Our team believes in partnering with you and your team to build lasting relationships that help you achieve your financial goals. Give us a call today and experience the Benton Roberson difference. We look forward to hearing from you. And Willie's Pizza and Wings. Willie's Pizza and Wings. It's a family thing. Located on 2050 East Canal Drive in Turlock, California. And the Turlock Bulldogs Quarterback Club. The Turlock Bulldogs QB Club is proud of their players, from their academics to their leadership accomplishments to their on-field championships. We would like to thank our communities, businesses, individuals, alumni, and families for all their financial support for all of our football teams. Please join us at Latif's every Saturday morning at 8 o'clock sharp a.m. after every football game. You can hear from the players themselves from all three teams and the coaches. And they will have a lot to talk about at Latif's tomorrow morning. What looks to be another win over their rival, the Pitman Pride, who, after a touchdown run to the left side by Avalos, now trimmed this lead to 34-6 with 6:27 remaining in the fourth quarter. Extra point is good. And so it is now 34-7 as Pitman finally puts some points on the board with under 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Turlock remaining with the lead, 34-7 on NorCal Sports TV. .6:27 to go, NorCal Sports TV, 34-7. Turlock over their rival, the Pitman Pride. And Dustin Paget, barring anything crazy, win number 8 in this rivalry's record books for the Turlock Bulldogs. It just shows you the last couple of years, the program they have built back up to what it once was. Faltered a little bit a couple of years ago, right back where they need to be. No questions asked.
Definitely, Keith. I mean, they're going to be heading into the playoffs with a full head of steam. You might want to watch out if you're their opponents.
As Pitman set to kick this one off to Turlock. It's an onside kick by DeLay. Ball still up for grabs. It has to go 10 yards. That's why no one's trying to touch it just yet. Turlock will have it at around the Pitman 49-yard line. Great job there by DeLay, the kicker, to kind of box that one out. Yeah. I know we're nearing towards hoop season, but
I liked it.
Not just yet, big fella.
Yeah, he's a big boy. He was up there doing what he could. And, in fact, I will tell you this, Keith, if that ball went a little further, I think they would have recovered that there because he would have been able to go down and get it himself.
Mr. DeLay reminding us that right after football season, we go into high gear for hoops. As Dalton Lynn will trot back out now. Obviously, Brock Paisley is done for the night. It's a jet sweep to the right side to Estacio. And he will lunge forward for a gain of around 7. Tackled at around the 43-yard line of Pitman. And Brock Paisley, if there was maybe the best scenario for them to get out of Brock Paisley tonight, the quarterback, no interceptions, fumbles on the pitch outs, but I mean, him and Baldwin hooked up for 2 touchdowns. He was fantastic all night.
Yeah, he's who I've had my eye on here for that Fit Go Pro player of the game moving forward in this game.
They really go up the middle once again as Luke Marson with his first carry of the night. Chants of Luke echoing throughout the stadium. And you talked about Brock Paisley, who this year has played phenomenally from start to finish and really has put them in a position to where now they don't have to rely on the running game. They can also throw it.
Yeah, Paisley, he's got an arm.
3rd and short. They'll go again to Estacio, who is wrapped up, and it looks like Estacio will not get the first down. Tackle is made by Avalos, number 34, who had the rushing touchdown for Pitman on the last possession.
Yeah, that's a good job there to bring up a 4th down, and it looks like they may go for it here, just like I said, to get more plays in, not because they're trying to pour on more points here. And actually intriguing, Keith, right now the Pride are winning this second half 7-6. So good second half for them.
Ball placed at the 41-yard line of the Pride. 4th and 1. Lynn will keep it. Tries to cut it back. Ball's on the ground, and it's almost picked up by Turlock, but Pitman fighting for it here as that ball is whistled dead. It's a fumble. They haven't shown us who has the possession just yet, but nonetheless, doesn't matter. It's 4th down. So
also a flag on the field.
It'll be a turnover on downs as Pitman will take over. Got a flag on the field, but I think they're gonna
picking it up.
They're gonna pick it up,
it, whatever it is. How about that? That's the 4th fumble recovery we've seen here for the Pitman Pride. Defense really stepping it up in the late game.
The defense definitely showing heart here. You're down 34-7, but obviously there is no quit in Lance Eckerly's Pitman Pride. That is for sure. This drive will start at the 50-yard line for Pitman.
And if they score another touchdown here, Keith, they've got to be happy with the way that they've finished this game if they're able to do that. They've really shown up and played decent football here in the second half, and I know that they're wishing, and they can't go back and do it again, but I know that they're wishing that this is the type of football they played the first half.
So under 5 minutes to go, and you touched on it. Pitman did not get off to a great start in this first half. Turlock jumped out to an early 21-0 lead, and from there they coasted as we're going to get a timeout for Pitman here as they talk this over. So let's talk about these Turlock Bulldogs. This will be another consecutive win added to this winning streak for the Bulldogs. And really, this team is firing on all cylinders. And it has been a situation where for the last couple of weeks they have coasted Downey, Enox, Grigori, you name it. They've beaten them all. And what is the one thing as you go into the postseason, Destin Padgett, that worries you potentially about Turlock going forward?
Hey, that's a clear and easy one. That would be the penalties here, Keith. I mean, we've seen all season long they've had issues with them.
Some trickery. That one fired downfield by Romo, underthrown, intended for Morris, number 23, and that will bring up second down now. So you were talking about the penalties, and obviously Turlock, you know, from what we've seen, you score 34 points and you have over 200 yards of penalties. It's impressive, but at the same time, that's not a recipe that you want going forward into the postseason as the competition gets tougher and tougher.
Yes, exactly, Keith. There's no way in the world that they're going to win a playoff games with that many penalty yards. That's just not going to happen. They kind of got lucky that they were the dominating team here tonight in that regard. Moving forward, they've got to try to cut those penalties down. You don't want over 100 yards of penalties in the game.
Pressure coming, and La Rosa gets out of it as he will go for a couple. He will be tackled at around the Turlock 40-yard line as charging in was Romo, number 20. And, you know, you touched on it, but on the plus side, if the penalty situation can get figured out, this is a team with a great quarterback, great wide receivers who can get down the field at ease. Obviously, we don't need to talk about the running game and the rushing attack. That speaks for itself. This is a team that can go deep, that's for sure.
You know, and mentioning their offense as you just did, yes, their offense is prone and they're going to be great moving forward, but I feel like the catalyst for this Bulldogs team is their defense. If their defense continues to play at the level that they've been playing for the past month, Keith, they may not lose another game.
La Rosa ducking and dodging. Now going to take off and run. La Rosa down the right side as he is clipped at around the 34-yard line. Tackle is made by Vega, number 42, as La Rosa was cornered inside the pocket, but that speed of his took over, and he made a mad dash.
Yeah, he's really picked up the pace here in the second half. Getting that's about his fifth run that he's had of more than 10 yards. He's really doing a good job this here, La Rosa.
So 2nd and 3 now with under 4 minutes to play. That pass intercepted. Big-time interception by Kyle Rumeyer.
Oh my, what a play that was from Rumeyer. He dove to make that interception. Let's see this one again, folks. Might be the play of the game here for the Bulldogs. Wow, full-out extension, Keith. Unbelievable.
It was Harry Stephen, number 9, who La Rosa thought he had wide open coming on the out route. He didn't think that Rumeyer had the capability to make a full extended dive, as you mentioned, for the interception, but he did. And Turlock has the football now at the 34-yard line. They go up the middle to Luke Marson. Gain about 8 as Luke Marson getting some carries here. The 5'11", 195-pound senior also plays outside linebacker on the defense. What an interception by Rumeyer that was. He had a touchdown a couple weeks ago, and then Rumeyer comes right back with this. Look at this.
Yeah, that's just something else. I couldn't believe it at first. It took me aback. I was like, there's no way he caught that. But sure enough, he was able to make that play.
2nd and short. They go back to Luke Marson, who picks up the first down. Still going inside the 50 as Luke Marson continued to move his feet there and got more than enough for the first down.
And if you're the Bulldogs here, what you're going to do, what you're going to see, and I can guarantee this, for those of you at home, there's going to be no more passes being thrown. And there's 3 minutes left here. They're likely going to hope to get one more first down and drain the final 3 minutes of this clock, walk off with a victory. Pitman Pride, however, won the second half by a point.
Under 3 minutes. 3 wide outs to the left. They go up the middle to Dalton Lynn. He'll keep it himself. Lynn still going. We've seen this story before as Lynn is inside the 30-yard line. Tackle made by number 14, Jaden Fanotti. Like I mentioned, we've seen this song and dance before with Dalton Lynn. Once he gets a little crease dust and Paget, he can take it to the house at any given play.
Yeah, between him and Frias, it's really, really hard to tell which one's more athletic. Both of those two young men, very good football players. Going to see lengthy careers out of them moving forward in their college career. Well, I hope she wasn't talking to us, Keith.
So now Dalton Lynn, the 25-yard line. Hands it off to Marson. Marson still going. He'll walk in for a touchdown.
Wow.
Big Luke Marson takes it to the house for a Turlock touchdown. Holy guacamole. Those were some big-time yards there.
That was an awesome run. We're going to get an unsportsmanlike thrown in the back of the end zone here for the celebration. But if you're the Bulldogs, I don't think you mind too much. The only one who will is Coach Peterson, as they're throwing up another 15-yard penalty there, but that'll be after the touchdown.
So Luke Marson, the senior, 195 pounds, 5'11" outside linebacker. But on that play, he was the running back, and he was the man who took it wire to wire for the touchdown.
What a run there for Marsden. And when you're going to Marsden, that's your fourth, maybe fifth string running back, and he's able to do that. That just shows you how well versed of a running team the Turlock Bulldogs are, Keith.
Extra point by Angel is good, and that makes it 41-7 with just a tick left before we go under 2 minutes here from Joe Debeley Stadium. The score at the 16th Annual Harvest Bowl, the Bulldogs 41, the Pride 7 on NorCal Sports TV. We welcome you back. NorCal Sports TV, Keith Jogonatis. My guy to my right, Dustin Paget. 2:01 remaining at the 16th Harvest Bowl, and this one is all but settled as it's 41-7. Turlock comfortably out to a lead here.
Oh, yes. They dominated this one from the opening kickoff here, Keith. They stopped him on a 3-and-out, went down and got a touchdown, and they have not looked back since. Great performance here for the Bulldogs. Couldn't have asked for much more if you're Coach Peterson heading into the playoffs. On the flip side for the Pitman Pride, a letdown here in this rivalry game in this Harvest Bowl. They're going to be their 5th consecutive loss. They're going to fall to 2-8 on the season. Going to have a long offseason over there for the Pitman Pride.
Angel will let this one float. It's up for grabs around the 48-yard line, but it looks like Pitman was able to recover it no problem. So, after this loss tonight, Pitman, who's already going to have a losing record, will go to 2-8 on the season. And for them, obviously, they have got a nucleus in place that will be developing for the next couple of years. They're going to get better. Obviously, head coach Lance Eckerly, he knows what he's doing. What is something that they showed you tonight that potentially could help them going down the line?
Well, you know, what I saw from them was this second half. You're down by 4 scores at halftime. You know, seemingly it's going to get a lot worse. And the Bulldogs had a lot of good offensive possessions here in the second half, but the Pitman Pride forced 4 turnovers, and those turnovers were key. You know, you're going to show that you're just not giving up on either side of the football. You don't see them bending over and just letting the Bulldogs have their way with them here in the second half. So, you know, give them credit for not giving up and continuing to fight here the last couple quarters of this game.
As Romo takes that football to the Turlock 41-yard line. For Turlock, obviously it is not the kind of game penalty-wise that you'd like to see out of a football team going into the postseason, but nonetheless they have shown their dominance here tonight, that's for sure. La Rosa will keep it up the middle. Cuts it to the outside. Stiff arms one man. La Rosa still going. Knocked out of bounds at around the 20-yard line. Tackle made as Turlock knocks La Rosa out of bounds there. They gave him a good shot there, that's for sure, Dustin Patrick.
Yeah, they did. And after the play, the young man followed him to the sideline a little bit to give him a little choice few words. But it's a hard hit on La Rosa, but you give La Rosa the credit. He got about a 17-yard gain and a first down there, and they're going to try to get it into the end zone here in this last minute, Keith.
They've got 1 full minute to do it here. La Rosa, no quitting this young man, that's for sure. He's going to keep it himself again. Looking for a block on the left side. Tackle made by Coyote Jiwa. Jiwa, who's another guy that gets a lot of coverage, and the Gatorade bath has just been delivered. Head coach James Peterson has knotted the Harvest Bowl up at 8 wins apiece.
Pitman probably call a timeout here. They're going to try to get into the end zone here in the last 30 seconds, and why not? You can't take your timeouts home with you.
And for James Peterson, as that cold Gatorade or cold water, whichever one they have in those coolers, soaks him, you've got to think about just the amount of pride he has in this team. And I'm going to be very interested to see, as you are, and as everybody is here in the Central California area, how far they go. They've got a team that is destined, the formula you would think has them destined to go pretty deep in this postseason.
Yeah, definitely. Like again, as we've been mentioning, their defense, I feel like, is their catalyst. They're a great offensive team, but their defense has been playing so well, it's going to be hard for almost any team in this Northern California region to really do anything against them.
La Rosa buying time, and that pass incomplete. Intended for his man, number 80, Harinder Garcha, the tight end. 29 seconds left as this one is all but sewn up. It'll be the 8th win for Turlock in this rivalry's history. It'll knot things up at 8 apiece, and more importantly, Dustin Pageant, for another 364 days, Turlock has bragging rights over the pride of Pitman High School.
Yes, they do, Keith. And they're going to be moving to their 5th win in a row in this Harvest Bowl.
La Rosa sacked in the backfield. And we got a timeout from Pitman, it looks like.
Yep, their final one.
As La Rosa sacked in the backfield, and they're going to make it a running clock now, so.
They're going to try to run one more play here. No defense there.
Trying to get one more play. Turlock's defense thought this was over. They're going to try to kick a field goal here from the 30-yard line. That one is no good by a mile, and that'll do it. For another consecutive season, the Harvest Bowl belongs to the Turlock Bulldogs.
You like to see Everett Johnson out there carrying the trophy for the Harvest Bowl as he runs out onto the field.
Everett Johnson, number 54, on his way to Berkeley and on his way to another Harvest Bowl victory with the Turlock Bulldogs and his team. And time now for our FitPro GO player of the game, Dustin, as we'll take a break before that. We come back, our FitPro GO player of the game on NorCal Sports TV.
Protein shake have the real symbol? And how does it taste? Isn't it about time we all got real?
We welcome you back. NorCal Sports TV here from the Harvest Bowl, the 16th annual Harvest Bowl, where the final score, the Turlock Bulldogs 41, the Pitman Pride 7. And now it is time to announce our FitPro GO player of the game, Dustin Pageant. Take it away.
Well, we're going to give it to Brock Paisley here tonight, Keith. He came out and he did amazing. He managed the game great. He threw 3 touchdowns and had no interceptions. Dalton Link came in replace of him. Paisley only played 2.5 quarters here, Keith, but those 2.5 quarters were key. And the reason that I chose him for this Fit Go Pro Player of the Game, not only because he had such a great game, but was that one play in the second quarter where he had Holden Baldwin on the outside. They had a run play set up, and he audibles, has the wherewithal as a high school quarterback to know what he sees from the defensive coverage. The guy was 10 yards off, was the defender. He audibles, makes the play call to go to Baldwin, pump fakes the defender, has Baldwin wide open for about a 40-yard touchdown pass. There was nobody within sight of him. An absolutely perfect play there. That play was so good that's why I bumped him to the top of my list ahead of guys like Frias and Rogers and Jackson to give the Fit Go Pro Player of the Game, Brock Paisley.
So Brock Paisley, another year, another win in the Harvest Bowl for the Turlock Bulldogs. And like I've mentioned throughout this broadcast, another 364 days where Turlock High School has bragging rights over Pitman. We'd like to thank everyone once again for joining us on the telecast of the 16th Annual Harvest Bowl. For my partner, Dustin Paget, for our entire crew here at NorCal Sports TV, I am Keith Jogananis, signing off. The final score, the Turlock Bulldogs 41, the Pitman Pride 7 at the 16th consecutive Harvest Bowl. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.